My child, stop whatever you are doing and listen to me with your whole heart, because this moment is not random, this moment is not accidental, this moment has been written with the ink of my kindness and timed with the clock of heaven for your exact address. Pause your rushing, silence the noise that tries to swallow your attention, and open your heart to me now. I am standing at your door this very second. I am not far, I am not theoretical, I am not an idea passing through a feed. I am here. I, the Lord your God, am at your threshold with a word that will anchor you and a peace that will guard you. You think an algorithm placed this before your eyes, but I guided your steps. You think this is just another message, but I scheduled an appointment and wrote your street, your building, your floor, your apartment, your home into it. I drew you to this interruption like a father drawing his child out of a storm and into a shelter. I am interrupting you not to scold you, but to save what you love from the slow theft of fear. I am not speaking to create fear in you. I am speaking to awaken you to the love that is already at your door. Hear me. I have walked through every room of your house, and fear does not have permission to stay. I walked the hallway where your steps have been heavy. I stood in the doorway where you have hesitated to enter because memories in that room talk too loudly. I approached the chair where you sit late at night and rehearse worries until your chest tightens. I bent near the bed where you turned your face to the wall and hid tears so no one would see. I am telling you now, fear is a trespasser here, anxiety is an uninvited guest, and I am serving notice. They must leave. I claim this home under my protection. My beloved child, this is a sacred appointment. You are not here by chance. Heaven leaned low, and I said, now, not a moment before and not a moment after. I timed it because I know the hour when your heart is most reachable and your defenses soften. I am not a distant judge walking the perimeter of your property to count faults. I am a present father, a guardian at your gate, a healer who knows where the ache lives. I am both the one who sees and the one who restores. I am placing my hand upon your threshold and declaring that your home is not a battlefield where fear gets to win. It is a sanctuary under my covering. I have come to announce something, and I need you to receive it like a letter with your name printed in bold. I am placing my peace upon your home. I am not merely speaking about ideas or feelings. I am releasing a presence that steadies air and softens voices and untangles tight thoughts. I am surrounding your address with the promise that when you rise and when you sleep, when you come in and when you go out, you will be covered. This is my word to you. Your home belongs to peace, and fear has no permission to remain. You wonder if what you feel is real enough to matter to me, those small flinches when a door slams, the quiet dread before a conversation, the long exhale you take before you step back inside from the car. I saw each one. I saw you counting what is left in the pantry and calculating what you haven't told anyone about the bills. I saw you standing in a room that used to be full of laughter and trying to remember what it felt like. I saw the apology you wanted to say but swallowed because you were afraid of the reply. I heard the prayer you didn't even finish, the one that started with, God, please, and then dissolved into a sigh. I am here now. I am not too late. I am not hesitant. I am certain. Stay with me until the end of this message. Do not turn away. Do not postpone peace. If you will give me your attention, I will give you a blueprint. I will not let you leave this moment unchanged. I am going to walk you, room by room, through your own home in the days ahead of this message, and I will tell you what to keep, what to release, what to say, and how to bless. I will teach you how to put my name at your threshold in a way that trains the very air to breathe differently. I will show you how to host my presence so tangibly that even your sleep learns a new rhythm and your table becomes a place where anxiety loses its appetite. Right now, as you hear me, breathe. Let your shoulders fall. I am at the door, and I am not leaving you alone with this. I have already sent watchmen to the entrances, angels commissioned to stand where you cannot stand every hour of the night. I am setting a light in your windows that will not be put out by the wind of bad news. I am putting my word at the lintel of your door that says, covered. When I mark something as mine, I keep it. When I bless a house, it becomes a refuge not only for those who live there, but for those who visit. I am establishing that in you. This is not a lecture, this is a rescue. This is not punishment, this is protection. This is not because you failed, this is because I love you. Do you feel the urgency? It is not the anxiety that used to summon you. It is the urgency of a father who refuses to let fear bargain for your attention any longer. I am moving you to a different agreement. I am breaking the contract you unknowingly signed with dread, the one written in the late-night rehearsals and the early morning tightness. I am tearing it in two and writing a new decree over your door. Peace lives here. Say yes to me. Whisper it if you must. Speak it softly if others are nearby, but answer me. Your yes opens what I have already unlocked. Your agreement welcomes what I have already sent. Your willingness creates space for the blessing I am carrying to rest upon your mantle, your table, your bed, your floor. I am not asking you to perform. I am asking you to open. I am not asking you to pretend. I am asking you to receive. You have arrived at a sacred crossing point. If you will stay with me, I will show you how to walk your own home like holy ground. We will begin at the door, where the comings and goings have often left you unsettled. We will step into the living room where conversations have grown cautious and sometimes sharp. We will pause in the kitchen where numbers have tried to frighten you, and where I will teach you to bless what is in your hands until it multiplies peace. We will enter the bedrooms where sleep has been thin and dreams have been chased away, and I will stand watch so your rest returns. We will open the closets where memories hide and let light be gentle but honest. We will touch the study or desk where decisions weigh heavy, and I will straighten your thinking and anoint your planning. Room by room, I will walk with you, and fear will find no seat to claim. Do not underestimate what I am doing in this interruption. This is me, placing a hand upon the pulse of your house and steadying it. This is me, addressing the air you breathe. This is me speaking to walls that have listened to whispered worries and telling them to echo a new sound. This is me declaring that your home, regardless of its size, its neighborhood, its past, or its present challenges, is chosen to be an address of peace. Hold this in your heart. I am not finished speaking, and I am not finished moving. Today I came to your door to announce my protection, to begin a visitation, and to make a promise you can lean your life against. Stay to the end. Listen to every word I will say as I lead you. I will put language in your mouth that shifts the atmosphere. I will teach your hands how to bless frames and furniture, yes. But more than that, I will teach your heart to bless those who walk these floors with you. I will lead you into practices that make peace the default rather than the visitor. And I will lay a seal upon this house that does not fade when the lights are off or when storms gather outside. My child, the door is open. I am already inside. I am already claiming what fear tried to occupy, and I will not let you leave this moment unchanged. Stay close. Keep listening. Let me carry this announcement straight into your walls. Your home is protected. Your threshold is covered. Your rooms are about to learn the sound of peace. My child, listen closely, because this is the hour I wrote in my book for your address. This is not random. This is not accidental. This is not a wandering word that stumbled into your day. I place this before you at this exact moment because your house has been carrying more than you tell anyone. Because your walls have absorbed sighs that never made it into sentences, because the very air has remembered the weight of unspoken arithmetic, the counting of dollars and days, the multiplying of what-ifs that wear grooves into your thoughts. I, the Lord your God, have set an appointment not with an idea of you, but with you, at your table, in your doorway, beside your bed, across from your children, in the corners where boxes have sat too long, and in the corners of your heart where you tucked away the questions you were taught not to ask. You have hustled smiles into mornings when the mail was due to arrive with numbers you did not want to see. You have straightened the cushions on a couch that knows the shape of your worry because you have leaned there, late, whispering to yourself, "We will figure it out," and then staring at the ceiling when everyone else fell asleep. You have closed a door to a room so you could cry without making a sound, and when you came out you said, "I'm fine." And the house believed you because houses do not argue, they simply hold what is given to them. But I am not a house, I am not a wall, I am not a mute observer, I am father and protector and present help, and I am telling you that this appointment has been set to relieve your home from agreements with fear and to train your mouth and your atmosphere to speak peace. My beloved child, I know the drawer where the unpaid bills live, that shallow grave where you tuck envelopes face down so their windows cannot look at you. I know the blue light of the phone screen where you scroll past those messages from the bank, from the landlord, from the service you forgot to cancel, and you tell yourself you will deal with it when your breath slows. I know the hesitation before you open the mailbox, the calculation you do on the way up the stairs, the way you rehearse conversations you might need to have if the numbers do not move the way you need them to. I know the small talks that grew sharp because pressure was standing in the room like a third person, uninvited yet loud. I know the way you say, "Go play," a little too quickly because you do not want the children to read the lines on your face, even though children read a room the way birds read wind, and they have started to ask quieter questions with their eyes. I know the door that stays closed, not because there is a mess you do not have time to organize, but because there are memories inside that you have not been ready to touch, and you think if you keep them behind wood and paint, they will stop stepping into your dreams. My child, I saw you place your palm on that door and whisper, "Not today," and I did not accuse you. I kept watch. I am here now to open with you, not to push you past your pace, but to show you that I, not fear, hold the handle. This is not random. This has been intentional from the first longing you sent up without words. Heaven scheduled this moment for your address, and it arrives like rain that knows where the garden is. It does not water the sidewalk, it seeks your soil. The algorithms of Earth are not sovereign over your destiny. I aligned this interruption with the ache of your home's atmosphere, with the invisible weather that has been changing the mood of rooms, and the tone of voices, and the tilt of your own thoughts. I am not speaking to create fear in you. I am speaking to awaken you to my nearness in your own rooms, to the chairs where I sit with you even when you think you are alone, to the kitchen where I stand beside you as you stir, as you measure, as you count, as you pray with hands in dishwater and tears that mix with the steam and disappear before they can leave evidence. I am as close as the breath you just took, and I am training your house to breathe me in and breathe fear out. You have wondered if the tension was you being dramatic. You have second-guessed your discernment because you are tired of naming problems. You have pretended not to notice the way laughter has felt thinner, the way an ordinary knock at the door makes your shoulders lift by instinct, the way you have learned, which hinge squeaks, because it tells you when someone is approaching before they speak. I know the half-finished repairs and the bulb that has been out for months because buying another one did not make it to the top of the list. I know the place beneath the sink where a pan catches a slow leak, because you convinced yourself it is small enough to ignore. I know the drawer of receipts you mean to sort, and the bag you keep by the door in case you have to leave quickly for reasons you do not speak about. I know the songs that used to play in the morning that you have turned down because you do not want to wake anyone into the day you fear may be heavy. I know the ring of an unknown number that makes your chest tighten because sometimes a voice on the other end does not bring good news. And I have not come to stack shame on top of these things. I have come to lift, to reorder, to restore, to bring air where it has grown stale, and soft tone where it has grown sharp, and light where it has grown hazy. Hear me, precious one. I am the God who visits homes with intention. I walked into a tent in the desert to speak to a child who had been pushed aside. I stepped into upper rooms where windows were shut against despair. I stood in doorways and called life back to where mourners had gathered. I sat at tables where the math did not work and multiplied what was in hand. I, who am uncontained by walls, love to make houses holy, not because they are perfect, but because they are lived in by those I love. Your address is not unremarkable to me. I know the creak of your stairs, the view from your window at night, the sound your heating makes before it settles, the way light pools on your floor at a certain hour and makes even dust look like glitter falling in a slow dance. I know the blanket you reach for when you feel a chill that has nothing to do with the weather. I know the place you stand when you answer hard messages because somehow standing feels stronger than sitting. And I am here, in all those familiar places, announcing a shift so tangible that you will notice it in your breathing, in your conversations, in your sleep. Before we continue, pause and agree with this covering. I am asking for your yes because I honor your will. I do not trample through your home like an invader. I knock and I speak, and I wait for your agreement, not because I am weak, but because I am love. So let your agreement be simple and physical if it helps your heart. Tap like as your yes to peace for your house, and share to wrap another home in this prayer. Not as a performance for people, but as a way to stretch this shelter over someone else who is standing at their own threshold even now. Your yes, whispered or typed, spoken or breathed, becomes a door swung open, and I will fill the space you open with the substance of my peace. I have called this an appointment because I do not miss it. I have arranged it because your calendar is not the only one holding your life. I have a calendar too, and on this square I wrote your name. Not a moment before and not a moment after. I said, now. I will not scold you for the ways you have coped. I will not compare your faith to someone else's highlight reel. I will not hold up your ledger of attempts and say it is not enough. I will speak to you as one who knows the sequence of your days and the pace of your healing. I will speak to you as one who loves your home more than you fear its future. I will speak to you as one who already sees the laughter that is coming back and the weight that is leaving. My child, I have watched you hold your breath at the threshold when you return from the day, as if to prepare for whatever waits inside, and I am here to reverse that reflex. I am here so that when you approach your own door, your heart says, home is where peace holds me, not home is where pressure finds me. I am rewriting the expectation at your entry, where sarcasm has become a shield and silence, a punishment and slammed doors, a language. I am introducing a new vocabulary of blessing that is not naive about pain but is relentless about hope. I am not telling you to pretend it is easy. I am telling you to practice what changes what is hard. I am teaching you to speak peace out loud so your walls learn to echo it, and your children learn to hear it, and your own soul learns to recognize it as its native sound. Your home has been carrying more than groceries and coats and projects. It has been carrying the weight of words left unsaid, apologies delayed because defensiveness felt safer, budgets that begged for miracles, calendars that overlapped until you forgot how to exhale, news that arrived like weather you could not change, diagnoses that shifted schedules, disappointments that stacked like boxes in a hall you had to turn sideways to pass through. I am here to lighten loads that cannot be solved only with a calculator or a mop. I am here to straighten what fear has bent and to breathe on what anxiety has constricted. I am opening windows that never moved before, spiritual windows that are stuck because of narratives you did not even know you were repeating. We always fight about this. We never get ahead. It is always something. Nothing good lasts here. My voice interrupts those sentences. I send my scissors into the seams of each false thing stitched into your atmosphere, and I cut, and I unthread, and I lay a new pattern. You will learn to sew with me. Peace has permission here. Provision is guided here. Love guards conversation here. Rest is not a guest here. Rest is a resident. When you think of the children sensing pressure without words to hold it, know that I am already whispering to them through your choices, through your tone, through the prayers you pray when they cannot hear you, and the ones you will begin to pray when they can. They are not too young to feel safe when peace becomes routine. They will watch you bless the table. They will watch you forgive in the middle of a sentence. They will watch you pause to breathe my name instead of letting anger finish the paragraph, and they will learn. I am asking you to let me train your house like a heart learns a new rhythm. That is why this appointment is for now, because a small adjustment in this hour will change the future cadence of many days. You have kept a door closed to hide tears, thinking tears unfit for common areas, as if sorrow is a leak to be contained. But I am the God who bottles tears, who calls them precious, who walks through doors you close and sits with you on the other side. I saw you lean your head against the wood because something about its coolness steadied you when words would not come. You do not scare me with your grief, and you do not lose my favor because of it. I am not taking inventory of your composure. I am taking inventory of your trust, and trust is not the same as performance. Trust can be a whisper. "Help me, Lord," said through clenched teeth while you are drying dishes. Trust can be opening a window 5 minutes earlier than yesterday so air can change, so sunlight can touch a place it has not touched in a while. Trust can be writing one sentence of blessing on a sticky note and placing it where your eyes will trip over it at the moment you would normally spiral into rehearsal of worry. This is the shape of our appointment, practical and holy, ordinary and charged with heaven's breath, repeated until peace is the path of least resistance in your house. I have not come to shame you for unpaid bills. I have come to teach you to handle money with me, to calm the panic so wisdom can speak. Panic is a loud guest who tries to control the conversation. Peace creates space for choices and nudges and multiplication that does not make sense on paper, because it is paired with contentment and generosity and restraint born of trust. We will address provision when we step into the kitchen. For I will feed your future and teach you the difference between a tightening led by fear and a stewardship led by love. For now, hear me say this. Late fees are not a moral failure. They are a problem I can help you solve. Debt is not your identity. It is a circumstance we will meet together. Numbers are not a god. They are servants that must be made to work for peace rather than against it. I will show you how to bless what is in your hands until it stops threatening your heart. I have placed this before you now because the atmosphere of your home has been walking with a limp, and I am the healer who sets bones and breathes spirit into rooms. There are jokes that taught you to brace. There are routines that rewarded avoidance. There are time slots that were filled with scroll and noise rather than stillness and renewal. This is not condemnation. This is diagnosis with a promise. I am not here to create fear, but to awaken your awareness that I am with you, and I want to be hosted by you, not as a guest who visits once a week when you are at your most tidy and your most polite, but as family who knows how to slide a plate into the sink and roll up sleeves and stand beside you while you sort socks and sort thoughts and sort histories. I am not fragile in the presence of your mess. I make messes into testimonies of order suffused with grace. I know the corners that seem insignificant, the shelf where you toss keys, the chair that collects what has no place, the junk drawer that becomes a parable about delay. I will use these corners as starting points, tiny altars where you practice my presence with 2-minute prayers and 10-second blessings, and the long breath that says, "Peace, be at home here." As you flip a switch and bring light into a room, do not despise the small acts that shift great weights. Do not assume that only the dramatic can deliver you. It is often the faithful small that rewrites a household story. The reason I time this now is because I see that you are closer to a new normal than you realize, and I do not want weariness to trick you into quitting when peace is pressing at the doorstep. If your heart wonders if you have the strength for changes that last, listen to me. You are not being asked to produce peace. You are being invited to host it. Hosting means welcoming, making room, adjusting airflow, changing what plays in the background, deciding what voices have access to your ears and your children's ears. Hosting looks like replacing one sentence with another, one habit with another, one agreement with another. Hosting is within your reach because I will resource you from the inside out. I will strengthen your will with my will and your desire with my desire. You will not be doing this alone. That is the point of this appointment. You have tried to regulate everything by yourself, and the weight is unjust for one set of shoulders. But under my covering, you will find that yokes are easy and burdens light, not because life stops asking for courage, but because love provides it without the tax of dread. I see the calendar on your wall, the one with the scribbles and reschedules and arrows from one day to the next because plans moved again. I see the dent in the couch cushion that marks your listening space when the day is noisy and you give yourself 5 minutes to go quiet. I see the closet that holds too many stories in its boxes, the photos you face down because looking could pull you under for hours. I see the cookbook open to a recipe you have not yet had the margin to attempt. I see the book you started and closed because your mind was too busy. I see the spot on the floor where you kneel when exhaustion intensifies your prayers. I see, I know, I care, and I have timed this so that your seeing and my seeing would meet and make a plan. There is a knock in this word, and there is a key in it too. The knock is me asking for your attention. The key is agreement that opens a sequence of graces. Do not think you can come back another time and find the same door in the same way. I am here now, and though I am faithful to chase you with goodness, there is a particular sweetness when you answer in the moment I call. So I say again, agree now. If your heart is private, whisper your yes. If you want the physical to remind your soul, tap like as your yes to peace for your house. If you want to break the isolation that has told you your struggle is singular, share to wrap another home in this prayer. Consider this more than engagement on a platform. Consider it a lifting of a corner of a tent so others can enter the shelter. Your act of agreement today participates in a wave of protection moving through thresholds you do not see. I have heard you say to yourself, it is always something, when a small appliance breaks or a plan crumbles, and I want to catch that sentence in midair and teach you a new one. It is always someone. It is always me when you are covered at night. It is always me when you are steadied in the morning. It is always me when patience surprising you keeps you from speaking a sharpness that would have cut. It is always me when a child laughs from their belly, and the room registers the sound like a thermometer rising toward summer. It is always me when you fold laundry not as drudgery but as prayer. Clothe us with compassion, with kindness, with humility and patience. It is always me when you place your hand on a doorframe and say, "Bless our comings and our goings," and then you notice that coming home does not feel like stepping into a test, but stepping into a refuge. I do not say this to make you spiritualize everything with forced meanings. I say this to train your attention to me until my presence is your most familiar fact. There are flaws in the paint and stains in the carpet that have preached a sermon of not enough over you, convincing you that you must wait for perfection before you can have peace. I announce the opposite. Peace will make the imperfect beautiful. Peace will make the cleanup part of communion instead of a chore haunted by self-accusation. Peace will let you sit on a floor that is not magazine-worthy and feel like you are in a sanctuary because holiness is presence, not polish. Peace will meet you in a one-room studio or a crowded multi-generational living room or a rented space with thin walls. Peace is not the size of a yard or the arrangement of furniture. Peace is a person you are letting rule. I am that person, and I am here. My child, even the pets have felt your pace. They hover when you pace and settle when you exhale. The plants in your window drooped because you forgot water on a day your eyes were doing the watering. The trash was taken out late not because you were careless, but because your body was negotiating with fatigue. I see it all, and I do not criticize. I comfort, and I coach. I will help you create rhythms where tasks do not tyrannize and rest is not postponed until collapse. I am not only covering you from danger, I am forming you for delight. Your home is not just a bunker, it is a classroom where joy teaches resilience. For the relationship that has been thin like a frayed cord stretched across a room, know this: I will not force reconciliation, but I will create conditions where humility can breathe and pride loses its grip. This appointment includes a plan for your conversations. It includes the cadence of apology that does not bargain and forgiveness that does not keep ledgers. It includes the choice to say, "I love you," when you would rather be right, and to say, "Help me understand," when you would rather be done. It includes learning to end the day with gentleness rather than letting midnight cement a mood you did not want. There is a protection that multiplies where honor lives, and I am about to teach your house to honor again in ways that feel like relief, not like rule. What you have called delay in these shifts has often been my defense. You wanted quick fixes that would have set your house on an unstable foundation, but I slowed the pace so the foundation could cure. I allowed the contractor of heaven, my timing, to take its time so the weight of future blessing would not crack your floors. The permits of peace were being filed in the courts of heaven, and you thought I was absent because you did not hear hammers. I was not gone. I was securing what I planned to build. This is why the appointment is now. The papers are in order, the angels are mobilized, the materials have arrived, your heart is softened, and your yes is about to open the sight. Let me speak to the fear that says, "What if this doesn't last?" It is a familiar whisper, an old burglar who knows the back gate. I am changing the locks. The lasting will not depend on your adrenaline or your perfection. It will depend on your returning. I will train you in a returning life, returning to gentleness, returning to gratitude, returning to breath, returning to truth, returning to me when you misstep instead of returning to shame. This is how households stay whole. Not by avoiding every bump, but by repairing quickly with humble hands. We begin today, not with grand speeches, but with presence acknowledged, with voices lowered into love, with agreements made at thresholds and maintained in hallways. This appointment includes even the way you move through your rooms. Do not rush, as if the only useful time is the destination. Walk with me. Notice the shadows and let me be the light. See the pictures on your walls and let me rewrite the memories where I was present but unrecognized. Touch the mantle and remember that I have placed a mantle on you to keep your house. Open the closet and allow me to be the courage that faces what was stored. Put your hand on the washing machine and bless the cycles, asking me to clean what soap cannot reach, the attitudes that need softening, the resentments that need rinsing, the small harms that need to be spun out before they mildew. I am not mocking you with metaphor. I am giving you handles for heaven in the middle of the ordinary. I place this before you at this exact moment because I know the appointment you have tomorrow that makes you anxious. I will stand with you there. I know the conversation you have been postponing. I will prepare your words and soften their hearing. I know the bill that comes due next week. I will give wisdom for what to delay, what to pay, what to ask, whom to call, and how to trust in the meantime. I know the visit from a relative that can stir old dynamics. I will lay a table of dignity that will change the tone. I know the child's question you do not know how to answer. I will give you a sentence you will remember later with gratitude because you will hear my voice in it. This appointment is not poetic only. It is practical and present. You are asking, what do I do now? Begin with this. Agree. Open your mouth and say, peace. Come and dwell in this house by the presence of God. Speak it at the doorway when you leave and when you return. Speak it into the living room before conversations. Speak it in the kitchen before meals and before bills. Speak it over beds before sleep and before morning. Write a phrase of my promise on the doorframe where your eyes catch it. Place one object of remembrance, a small stone, a ribbon, a leaf, a card where it can anchor a corner of your day into me. Let the simple actions become part of your home's new language. Remember, I am not trying to make you hyper-aware of spiritual mechanics. I am teaching you to cultivate an atmosphere where fear cannot settle and peace does. I am also asking you to do one thing in the next 24 hours that makes space for me. It can be as small as opening a window and saying, Spirit, fill this room. As simple as turning off sound for 10 minutes and breathing. My name, as ordinary as wiping a table with gratitude for the conversations it has held, as brave as risking a soft tone where sarcasm used to be, as generous as sending a message of encouragement to someone whose house may need this same appointment. When you move with me in small ways, you will find I move the big walls you could not have moved yourself. Do not despise the appointment because it looks like your own home. People go far to find peace and overlook their own rooms as the primary place I want to dwell with them. I want your address known in heaven as a place where angels feel at home, where night watches are bright, where the enemy's claims are overruled because the decree of peace is written in the very air. I want your table to become a table of testimony. We ate, and we remembered goodness. I want your hallway to become a hallway of hugs after hard days. I want your entryway to carry a welcome that disarms those who have had to be armored outside. I am dreaming with you about your home because I created the first home and I have never lost interest in making dwellings where love lives. Now, walk with me. Room by room, I will show you what I am restoring. We will not rush. We will not neglect any corner that is partnered with fear. We will replace the soundtrack of worry with the cadence of blessing. We will open hands that have been clenched around control and place keys into my hands, not to make you helpless, but to make you free. We will bring laughter back gradually until it surprises you loudly. We will reset nights and greet mornings differently. We will look at bills with me in the room and watch panic lose its voice. We will talk to each other in tones that become predictable in their gentleness, and that predictability will itself become a safeguard. I am here, and I am staying, and this appointment will continue until your house knows the music of my peace, the way your lungs know breathing. Do not turn away. Do not postpone peace. Do not tell yourself that you have too much to do to make room for this. Making room for this will make room in everything else. My covering does not complicate your life, it clears it. My presence does not add weight that crushes, it removes weight that smothers. Say yes and step into it now, because heaven scheduled this for you, and the one who scheduled it is jealous to keep it with you. Take my hand. We are going to walk your house together. And as we do, the unseen will change the scene. The heavy will become light, the fearful will become brave, and your home will begin to learn its new name, Sanctuary. My child, keep your hand in mine and do not rush past this. We are walking, not imagining. We are moving through your actual spaces because I have wrapped my peace in a way your walls can feel and your rooms can recognize. This is not symbolic only. This is practical and present. I am here, and I will not skip any doorway or avoid any memory. I will fill each space differently because each space holds different stories, different sounds, different weights. Yet all will carry the same seal, protection and peace. Breathe, beloved. Follow me. Let us begin where conversations gather and footsteps pause the living room. I quiet arguments that have learned to dress themselves like normal conversations, the little barbs that pretend to be jokes, the raised eyebrow that speaks louder than the mouth, the heavy silence that punishes without a word. I touch the cushions where tension has settled like dust and I blow it away. I saturate the atmosphere with gentleness until it becomes the default setting, until irritation feels like a foreign language in this room and kindness flows without special effort. I am softening the timbre of your voices so that when you speak, you hear safety in one another. I am placing laughter back into the room like a familiar song whose melody you forgot but your bones still know. I will make joy interrupt the spiral. I will make forgiveness a chair that is always open. Let the screens in this room no longer train your souls in panic or comparison. Let this be a place where stories are shared and faces are seen. I lift the remote from the throne and put relationships back in their rightful place. When conflict must be addressed, I will teach you how to talk like peacemakers, to say I feel more than you always, to bless even as you disagree, to pause before the sharp word leaves and place that word in my hands. Arguments will lose their echo here. Harshness will not find a microphone. My gentleness will be the strongest presence on your couch. Now, beloved, into the kitchen, where budgets meet bellies and time meets hunger, where fear has often found a way to whisper in the language of scarcity. I am blessing provision here. I am putting my hand on what you have, the few things, the simple things, the ordinary things you stopped seeing as miracles because of their familiarity, and I will multiply the impact of wise choices. I am not teaching wastefulness. I am teaching trust. I am not calling you to magical thinking. I am calling you to partner with me in wisdom that stretches what appears small and turns it into strategy. Watch how I guide you. When to cook more because generosity is knocking. When to save because stewardship is singing. When to try a new recipe because creativity will renew your hope. When to invite someone to the table because shared meals heal isolation that money could never fix. I am placing peace in the refrigerator so that opening it will not feel like opening a verdict. I am standing by the pantry whispering, there is enough for today, and I am already in your tomorrow. As you plan, I simplify. As you shop, I steer. As you eat, I satisfy more than hunger. Bills will not bully you at the sink. Shame will not sit at this table and call itself responsibility. The voices of not enough and what if it all falls apart are losing authority in this room because I am enthroned as provider. You will see me in the coupons, in the sales, in the neighbor's extra, in the garden you decide to plant, in the discipline to say no, in the courage to say yes, in the miracle of contentment that makes simple meals taste like celebrations. I am protecting your home through quiet wisdom that interrupts anxiety, and through timely provision that arrives like rain when the ground is ready to drink. Walk with me down the hall. Do you hear it? Hallways remember footsteps. They collect echoes that try to preach to you as you pass. The argument that used to start at the corner near the family photos, the kid who walked away angry and slammed a door, the phone call you paced through with tears burning your eyes. These halls have heard it. I am cleansing the echoes. I am healing the place between places, the transitions where your heart often stumbles. When you pass through here, you will feel steady instead of bracing. I will turn this hallway into a procession route for peace, a space where you breathe prayers that are short and strong. Lord, you are here. Lord, I receive your calm. Lord, teach me to carry gentleness into the room I am about to enter. The very walls will seem to lean outward with welcome, not inward with pressure. I am changing how your feet remember these boards. The pathway of your daily movement will become the pathway of daily mercy. Now into the bedrooms where your bodies collapse and your minds do not always follow. I am the one who knows the posture of your sleep, the tossing and turning, the jolts of fear that visit at 2 a.m., the lists that unroll endlessly when the light is off, the dreams that turn to dread and the dread that turn to habit. I am placing my hand on each bed, on each pillow that has collected tears and night sweats, on each blanket that has tried to cover what only my presence can calm. Night terrors lose their voice in my presence. They have spoken loudly, but they are not lords here. I am reclaiming the night, retraining your nervous system in the cadence of rest. I am teaching your breath to remember peace. Over the crib, where a child startles awake, I am singing. Over the teenager whose mind races, I am speaking identity that quiets performance. Over the single bed where loneliness formed a second pillow, I am laying companionship that does not pressure or pretend, only comforts. over the shared bed where unspoken tension built a wall down the middle. I am lowering that wall like the morning blinds. I will prompt you to release what should not enter sleep. The unresolved accusation, the replay of what you cannot fix at midnight, the secret scrolling that steals rest rather than soothing it. I am not scolding, I am saving. I will give dreams that instruct, not torment. I will give a kind of sleep that feels like being held because you are. Rise in the night and whisper my name, and you will discover I was already whispering yours. We pause at the entryway, at the threshold that frames comings and goings. This is where the world tries to follow you in with its dust and dread. This is where fear once stood like a bouncer, demanding your peace as a cover charge before it let you pass. Hear me, I station angels here. I appoint watchmen you cannot see, and they are not tired. Your doorposts are not bare, they are marked with my promise. I decree that no uninvited fear may cross this threshold. Anxiety can pace on the porch, but it will not live in the living room. Panic can knock, but it has no key. Confusion can call from the sidewalk, but it does not know the code. I set a boundary here. Only what agrees with peace, honor, love, and truth may enter and lodge. When you step out, you do not leave protection behind. It wraps you as you go. When you step in, you are not required to undress your courage at the mat. Let this entryway become the place where you practice greeting, peace. Come in, and escorting, fear, you may not enter. I am consecrating your doorway as a gate of blessing, a place where you lay down the armor you needed outside and take up the freedom you need inside. Breathe here, each day. Touch the doorframe and remember, you are covered by a promise bigger than any threat. I am the wall around your walls. Look with me through the windows. These panes have been screens for storms, views for comparison, portals where worry seeped like a draft, the neighbor's life that looked easier, the siren that woke the neighborhood, the headlines that bled into your mood. I am cleansing what tries to seep in. I make these windows filters instead of funnels. Light will come through with courage attached. You will look out and bless, not covet. You will notice needs and feel compassion instead of intimidation. And you will learn when to close the blinds and say, not tonight, not this hour. Peace is learning to breathe, and I will not invite the wind of worry. Even the window ledges will hold reminders a plant you tend as a promise that slow growth is still growth. A note that says, rest lives here, a simple token that anchors your mind when weather shifts. The windows of your mind will mirror this. Less intrusion, more invitation to what nourishes. Return with me a moment to the living room and let me show you something hidden. The place where a sentence wounded you and you pretended it didn't. The corner where you stared at the wall so you wouldn't cry in front of them. The remote you grabbed to drown the ache. I am not revealing this to shame you. I am revealing this to heal you. As I walk, I uncover what has hurt you in each space, the cupboard where you hid the bill you were afraid to open, the chair where grief first sat and would not move, the doorway you hesitate to pass because it reminds you of a night you'd rather erase. I am not accusing you. I am anointing these places with understanding. I will ask you to let certain tears fall in the same room where you once stuffed them down, because those tears are spring water for the soil of restoration. I will ask you to confess to me on the couch what you tried to manage alone, because secrets losing their hiding place is part of peace winning its home. I will ask you to bring me the laughter that turned bitter so I can sweeten it again. We are collecting what has been scattered so that wholeness can be woven where fragmentation used to live. There is no room I am unwilling to enter with you. There is no memory I am unwilling to reframe. There is no stain I am unwilling to wash. My child, let me touch the specific so my peace can be more than general. Do you feel how different each room receives me? This is by design. My presence fits the need like water fits the shape of its cup, the same essence, the same life, yet poured to meet what each space holds. In one room I am quieting, and in another I am training. In one I am multiplying, and in another I am simplifying. In one I am teaching your mouth how to bless, and in another I am teaching your body how to rest. Protection is not a blanket thrown over a mess you dare not touch. It is a covering under which we courageously reorder. Peace is not the absence of all sound, it is the presence of the right sound. Hear it now, the hum of contentment in the kitchen, the low laugh in the living room, the soft breath of sleep in the bedroom, the steady step in the hallway, the hush at the threshold as angels take their watch. Step with me into the room where you work or study, if it stands in this house. I bless focus here. I break the lie that says your value is only in what you produce. I align your efforts with wisdom so that striving loses its grit and diligence gains its grace. I am reteaching your desk to be an altar of service, not a treadmill of worthiness. Creativity will not be choked by criticism that moved in through past failures. I will hush the inner editor that has been louder than your inner learner. Even here, protection and peace post their guard. Back through the hallway, we pause at the closet, where clutter turned into a low-grade ache you stopped naming. I am not merely organizing, I am removing accusation. The items you kept because of fear, what if I need this? What if there is not enough later? I will show you which to release as an act of trust, which to keep as stewardship, which to give as seed. Scarcity loses grip here as well. When you lift a box, let it be unto freedom. When you sort, do it with me. So shame cannot call your possessions a mirror of your failures. This is still about peace. If there is a bathroom where you see yourself and sigh, I meet you there with a kinder mirror. I erase the words you have spoken over your body that I never wrote. I steady the hands that have trembled. I bless the rhythms of washing and brushing and tending as sacrament, small liturgies that inform your mind. I am cared for. I am not rushed. I am not behind being worthy of gentle attention. Your reflection will learn to tell the truth. Beloved, not burden. Temple, not target. We return to the entryway once more because thresholds are where decisions are sealed. Place your palm where you can reach it and hear me. I am here every time you go and every time you come. I teach you to speak at this line, to declare with me, peace, remain, fear, depart, love, enlarge, hope, hold, not as magic, but as agreement, not as superstition, but as training for your mouth to align with your Maker's voice. The atmosphere will learn obedience as you learn agreement. This is how homes shift, not by pretending fear isn't real, but by refusing to give fear real estate. Now, beloved child, I circle back to the living heart of this appointment. I have not walked your rooms today to point out what is wrong with you. I have walked them to prove that I am with you. I have not brought you into a house tour of shame. I have brought you into a house tour of healing. Every room I visited, I carried two things, the authority to protect and the tenderness to restore. I named what pains without rubbing salt. I pressed where it hurts, only with the medicine of my presence. And I am not done. We will return to these rooms together, and as we do, you will notice subtle shifts becoming normal. Words you stop saying because they steal air, rituals you start practicing because they give life, boundaries you set because love needs protection, delights you welcome because joy is a tutor. As we pause the walk for this moment, feel what is true. My peace has feet. It moves from room to room. It does not stay in the spiritual corner and watch you flounder in the practical spaces. It goes everywhere because I go everywhere. And where I go, fear loses its license. This house has heard many voices. Now let it hear. Mine louder. I am here. I am guarding. I am guiding. I am gentle, and I am strong. Your home is learning me, and as it learns, safety will not be a visitor, it will be a resident. My child, still yourself, and let me say what I have carried close to your story for a long time. I saw what others missed inside your walls. I did not miss the tiny tremors in your voice when you said it's fine, because you were shielding the young ones from the weather in your chest. I did not miss the way you turned your face toward the stove or the sink, so your eyes could reset before you turned back around. I did not miss the smile you laced over a sigh so that routine could keep moving. I am not here to accuse you for the ways you coped. I am here to be the healer who understands why you learned those motions and who teaches you a better way that does not injure you to protect them. I know the nights you kept your voice down so the children would not hear the strain in your heart. I know the way your shoulders held a conversation your mouth never spoke. I know the heavy swallow, the press of your lip against your teeth, the way your hand found a counter edge so you could squeeze something firmer than your fear. I was there in all of it, not distant, not indifferent, not taking notes to judge you later. There is the one who watches a beloved child trying to hold a roof up alone and says, I will not leave you here straining. I will stand under this with you. I saw the table when it turned into a calculator. I saw the bank app open while the food cooled. I saw the unopened envelopes that stacked like small white bricks of dread near the fruit bowl, the mental math that marched in circles, the shift from savoring to surviving as you cut expenses with a prayer and a pencil. I saw you at the end of the month, staring at due dates like they were verdicts, feeling your worth shrink because the numbers would not cooperate. Financial worry stacking like unopened mail, the ache of doing the math at the table. I have watched this scene more times than you have replayed it, and every time my heart moved toward you, not away. I have counted your breaths as tenderly as you counted your coins. I know which bill you flipped to the bottom because your courage for that one was spent. I know the shame that crept in uninvited, whispering that a responsible person would never land here, and I rebuke that lie now. Responsibility without resources is still a burden, but it is not a moral failure. Hear me. I am not calling you irresponsible. I am calling you mine. I am not labeling you with lack. I am covering you with care. You have not been alone at that table. I was sitting in the chair you kept empty, and I was arranging a rescue you could not see. I saw the lonely meals. When one chair stayed unfilled and the silence got so loud you turned on a show just to share air with another voice. I saw you eat standing up because sitting made the ache sit with you. I saw the plate you set for memory, then moved back to the cabinet because it hurt too much to look at the vacancy. I saw the days you cooked more than you needed because you were hoping generosity would answer your own emptiness. And the days you cooked less because your appetite and your hope both felt small. I saw the silent rides to and from work, the radio low, the mind loud, the stretch of road that knows your tears by route because they visited often enough to learn the turns. I saw the tear you wiped before opening the door so no one would ask questions. You didn't have the energy to answer. I was in the car with you. Not as a backseat observer, but as the voice keeping you company when you thought only the quiet was listening. I spoke to your breath when words were too heavy. I put a hand on that tender spot in your chest, where loneliness knocked and knocked and knocked, and I did not let it become your landlord. I saw the spiritual heaviness at 3 a.m., the dread that lingers even on good days. The weight that waits until the house is still, and then lays on you like a damp blanket. I know the ceiling you stared at, the scrolling that numbed instead of soothed, the prayers too tangled to finish, the questions that felt dangerous to say out loud. Why am I still here? Why does peace visit and then vanish? What is wrong with me? Hear me as I untangle this with gentleness. Nothing about those hours was invisible to me. I was awake before you woke. I was already in the room before the dread tried the knob. I stood at your bed not with impatience but with compassion, not with lectures but with lullabies that your ears are learning to hear. The heaviness told you it owned the night. It lied. The night belongs to me. I know the circuits in your mind that loop when the lights go out. I know the hormones and histories that turn simple thoughts into stampedes. I have been disarming traps in the dark that you did not set on purpose and could not find alone. I have bent close to your pillow and spoken the same name over you that I spoke when you first drew breath. Beloved. Not burden, not broken beyond repair. Beloved. You have carried things you were never meant to carry alone. I saw it all, and I am here. You have carried the generational worry you learned from the way your elders whispered in kitchens, the way panic jumped between members of your family like a spark that found dry wood. You have carried adult weights you picked up as a child to keep the peace, to be the fixer, to be the quiet one, to be the dependable one, while your heart begged to be held. You have carried the fear of making one wrong choice and watching everything collapse, because once before something did collapse, and you blamed yourself for the fault lines that were there long before you. You have carried the secret of not feeling safe in your own rooms, even when nothing obvious was wrong, because your nervous system then remembers different walls, where shouting landed like hail and silence landed like ice. You have carried it while saying to yourself, other people have it worse, I should be grateful, turning gratitude into a gag for your pain. I am removing the gag. I am not humiliating your strength. I am honoring it by telling it that it does not need to keep lifting what I have come to hold. I will not let the weight that built your muscles become the weight that breaks your back. Give it to me not in a single dramatic moment only, but in the repeated act of trust that says each day, here is today's share of the fear, here is today's share of the math, here is today's share of the ache. I can hold it all, repeatedly and gladly, because I love you. I saw the argument you never recovered from, the sentence that still lives like a splinter in the trim around your doorway, catching your skin when you pass. I saw the apology you never received, the apology you still owe but cannot yet form because shame sits on your tongue. I saw the memory you avoid by walking around the rug as if the thread itself could summon the past. I am not here to reopen wounds to prove I know you. I am here to touch the wound with clean hands so infection stops stealing from you. I will not weaponize your memories. I will not parade your secrets in front of those who do not value your heart. I will not call you back into rooms where you were harmed without escort and protection and purpose. When I say, let me show you what hurt you, I also say, let me show you how I heal you. I bring salve, not spotlight. I bring covering, not exposure to shame. I bring boundaries that keep peace in and push fear out. I bring a new language to your house so that sarcasm loses its job and tenderness hires your tongue. Listen to the truth you fought to believe when my answer did not come in the package you hoped for. What seemed like silence was not neglect. I was arranging a rescue you could not see. When a door stayed closed, you called it punishment. I called it protection because on the other side of that door, someone was eager to trade your peace for their convenience. When the money did not arrive on your timetable, I was rerouting your steps away from a trap with terms that would have enslaved your future. When you waited for a call that did not come, I was guarding you from a cycle you had almost named as love. When your car refused to start on the day you had to be somewhere, I delayed you because miles ahead, a collision was waiting at the very time you would have been passing. When your application sat in a pile, I held it there until the person with eyes to see you took it in hand, instead of the one who would overlook you with a breeze. Delay has felt like dismissal, but I speak over that misreading. It was defense. I was defending your home, not denying your heart. I was building something around you that takes more time than panic allows, and more trust than pride prefers. I have been laying small breadcrumbs of care that you often did not recognize as me because they wore ordinary clothes. The neighbor who knocked with extra food at the exact moment your pantry had mostly cereal dust, the unexpected discount at the register when you were doing the tense math in your head, the friend who texted thinking of you during your drive when you were swallowing that one stubborn tear, the song that found you at 3 a.m. when everything else felt muted, the sketch your child made with a house and a son, and you smiling, because that is how their heart sees you, even on days you do not see yourself that way. I placed those breadcrumbs not to play with you, but to feed you through the woods until the path cleared. I have not mocked your confusion. I have been clearing brambles while you slept, cutting back lies with a quiet blade that does not need applause. I saw you choose not to repeat a sharp story, and peace took 2 steps deeper into your living room. I saw you put cash into a jar labeled future, even when present had its own hunger, and provision learned the path to your table. I saw you stand in the hallway and breathe 3 slow breaths before entering a room where fear used to rule, and angels adjusted their post to match your agreement. I saw you open the envelope you had dreaded, and instead of spiraling, you said, Lord, this is yours too, and the grip on your chest loosened. Every small turn toward me has been large in its effect. Every time you let me see you, I healed you a degree. Every time you let me hear the truth behind your practiced words, I answered a layer deeper than you expected. This is why I name your hidden pain, not to make you relive it, but to free you from living under it. What you hide cannot heal, what you hand me can. Do not be afraid of what I am revealing, precious one. The rooms that carry the heaviest echoes will not always sound like this. The hallway that remembers slamming doors will learn to remember blessings whispered as you pass. The kitchen where you did the math will become a place where gratitude multiplies what wisdom stewards. The bedroom that felt haunted by wakefulness will glow with rest that trains your body in safety. I am not asking you to perform wellness. I am inviting you to receive wholeness. You are not a project that disappoints me. You are a home I delight to dwell in and defend. My presence does not come to inspect with a white glove. My presence comes to repair and to rest. So hear me again, because I want this sentence to settle into your bones and into your baseboards. Nothing in your home's pain is hidden from me. I arrived as healer, not accuser. I am the one who gathers the tears off the pillow and turns them into rain for your garden. I am the one who reads the mail with you and writes provision into margins you thought were already inked closed. I am the one who sits in the passenger seat and returns courage to your lungs before you reach the driveway. I am the one who stands watch at 3 a.m. and tells dread, You may pass through, but you may not pitch a tent. I am the one who looks at your tired strength and says, "Rest your arms. I am strong enough for this house." Now, beloved child, keep letting me name what has been nameless. Keep bringing me the stack, the sigh, the splinter, the night. When you feel the old panic reach for the light switch, call my name before you call your fear by its usual titles. When you notice your voice lowering to protect little ears, remember that I am protecting you too. Step into another room, place your hand on a wall, and hand me the pressure. When the envelope arrives, do not hide it in a drawer where shame grows in the dark. Open it with me in the light where strategy and support stand ready. When the ride grows quiet and the thoughts get loud, invite me to speak first. I will train you in these practices, not to burden you with another list, but to gently retrain your home's nervous system to believe what is already true. I am here, and fear has no permission to remain. And as you listen, let the pivot turn you toward hope without pretending the pain was small. Call this what it is, a rescue already in motion. The silence you felt was me moving in stealth for your sake. The waiting room you sat in was not abandonment, it was triage. I am walking you out now, not to drop you off at the curb of a busy street, but to carry you into rooms that will know your laughter again. Even on the good days, when dread tries to sneak in and suggest it will return at night. Remember, it is a trespasser here, and I am the one who serves the notice. I guard your walls without sleeping. I sing your name without tiring. I see what others missed, and I call it healed as I touch it. Stay with me. We are not done, but the worst of hiding is over. You are safe with me in your own home. My child, listen to me with your whole heart, because I am placing my hand on a sentence that will change how you remember these months and how you live the next ones. Every delay in your life has been a deliberate act of love, not neglect. Do not rush past this line as if it were only comfort language. I am telling you strategy, and I am telling you history. You called it slow, stalled, disappointing, rejected. Heaven called it defended, guarded, insulated, redirected. I did not look at your longing and walk away. I drew near with a shield in one hand and a clock in the other. I did not leave you at a locked door without reason. I positioned that lock because what waited behind that door would have walked into your rooms and pushed peace to the corner. Waiting was not rejection. I was guarding your doorway from what would have entered with those yeses. I love you too much to let urgency sell you to harm wearing a helpful face. You remember the deal that looked perfect on paper, the numbers that married so neatly you could have framed the spreadsheet like a certificate. You remember the call where their tone changed, the sudden reversal, the "we've decided to go in a different direction," the email that held your breath in a paragraph. Hear me tell you what you could not see then. I stood between your doorframe and a spirit of extraction that lived behind that deal. They would have celebrated you in public and drained you in private. They would have praised your diligence and punished your humanity. Their timeline would have hijacked your dinners and your weekends, and your children would have learned to measure your love by your laptop closing. It fell through because I let it fall. I placed my weight on the weak point so it could not hold, and I did it for your safety. Not because you were unworthy of yes, but because you were too worthy to be handed to devouring yeses. You remember the move that almost happened. Boxes labeled in permanent marker, bubble wrap piled like clouds that never rained, keys jingling in a pocket that never sent their metal into a new lock. You remember the delay that multiplied into a season and felt like humiliation because you had already said your goodbyes in your heart. Hear me, and let the heat come out of that memory. I stopped the moving truck because I saw what you could not. The wall in that new place that hid a mold that would have made your body pay a tax you could not afford. The thinness of that neighborhood's safety at night. The landlord's soft answers that hardened into inattention when repairs were needed. The school whose culture would have left your child shrinking. I held you in place not to punish your courage, but to protect the laughter I am growing here. Not a moment before, and not a moment after. I am aligning your home with my timing, and timing is one of the ways I love you. You remember repairs that dragged on, a contractor who came late and left early, the part that was on back order, the list that kept its length while your patience got trimmed. You heard the drip, counted the days, felt your hope like a damp towel that would not dry. Let me show you what I was doing in the intervals that felt empty. I rerouted the shipment because the batch that would have arrived first was flawed. and I will not let a quick fix introduce a future hazard. I clogged the calendar so the electrician who rushes for profit would not touch your walls, and I waited until the one with care in his hands had an opening. I sent the delay to flush out the corner cutters who would have left a problem sleeping in your ceiling like a snake coiled behind paint. When you felt ignored, you were actually watched over. When you felt dismissed, your rooms were under my inspection. When you felt time stretched thin, I was thick around you with vigilance. You remember the job that did not call back, the interview where you felt the click and the chemistry and you thought, finally. You practiced your commute in your mind. You whispered thanks in advance. Silence answered. Listen, I closed the mouth of that season because that office had a soil that poisons roots slowly. I did not plant you there because the fruit that looked glossy was wax. The culture in that place would have celebrated your strength and mocked your boundaries, and your home would have received the splinters of your spirit each night. The no you heard was me, guarding your mornings, your evenings, your parenting voice, your prayer life, your patience with yourself. I do not feed you to atmospheres that teach you to mistrust me. I am not in the business of repositioning you in exchange for your peace. You remember the relationship that almost restored, the apology words that began to form on their lips like dew that never fell, the messages that arrived and then went silent, the hope you smoothed like a tablecloth, waiting for hands that never sat down. Let me say this without shaming the tenderness of your heart. I blocked the reunion because the pattern behind their eyes had not changed. There was a cycle, still loaded and ready to spin. And your home is under a new order, where cycles are not permitted to reign. Your longing for connection is holy. Your door is holy too. Not every knock receives entrance. Waiting was not rejection. I was covering your threshold with wisdom while I healed your need to prove your worth by enduring what hurts you. The love I provide does not require you to bleed to feel alive. You remember the morning the car would not start, the meeting you missed, the irritation that rose so quickly you tasted old stories about yourself late again, messing up again, and you carried that sentence like a stone all day. Hear me reverse the verdict you wrote on your chest. I paused your ignition because miles ahead at the exact time you would have been passing, steel and speed were embracing violently. I stationed an angel at your driveway and told it to stall you with mercy. When you called the tow and stared at your own breath in the cold, you were standing in a sanctuary of time I made for you. I did not need you at that meeting, at the cost of your ribs and your return. I have been keeping you in more ways than you know. My child, you remember packages that arrived late, forms that got lost and had to be filed again, permissions that took weeks, people who promised and then vanished, rain on the one day you had helped to lift, a snowstorm on the weekend you booked to drive. You remember feeling like the world was conspiring against you. I am asking you to rename the conspiracy. Love conspired for you. I adjusted 100 small levers you could not see to orchestrate exit ramps from danger you could not detect. I placed a fog on your path, not to make you trip but to make you slow where cliffs hid under prettiness. I tangled another schedule so you would not be paired with them. Their influence would have coated your walls with cynicism, which is harder to remove than paint. I did not do these things to tease you. I did them because your home is not a playground for chance. Your address is under watch. Your life is under waiting. Your steps are counted with care. Hear me tell you about the calendar from the other side. When you circled dates with ink, I handled your circles like prayers. I pressed yes and no at windows you could not see, and I did it with a knowledge of intersections, weather, moods, hearts, and histories that you do not carry because you do not need to. I am the one who sits above the minutes and below the floorboards, and I synchronize what would exhaust you to manage. Not a moment before and not a moment after. Say those words with me inside your chest. Not a moment before and not a moment after will your doors open. Not because I delight in suspense, but because I honor design. Seeds break soil at a temperature the seed does not debate. Babies breathe air at an hour that midwives watch for. Trees drop leaves to preserve their core. You are not being punished. You are being preserved for a fullness you cannot carry prematurely. This is why, when you ask me why it is taking so long, I answer with a question that sounds like a lullaby and a lesson. What are we protecting? What are we preparing? And I say we, because I honor you as my partner in your own home. I am training you to see delays as door guardians, rather than dream thieves. Bless the pause that kept a predator from crossing the threshold. Bless the slow paperwork that allowed a better option to rise. Bless the schedule shift that positioned you to bump into an answer in the aisle you would not have walked down otherwise. Bless the back-ordered part that turned into a higher quality replacement with a longer life. Bless the rain day that became rest day, which became perspective, which became decision, which became peace. Bless the waiting as you would bless bread, breaking it open to find that it feeds what hunger could not name. My beloved child, I also know the part of delay that feels like shame, the glance over your shoulder as if neighbors are tallying your timelines, the internal voice that says, if I had been faster, more decisive, more something, we would not be here. I put my hand over that voice now and quiet it. You are not behind, you are under my wing. Your worth is not the speed of your results. Your worth is the seal of my love. I am not embarrassed by your process. Heaven does not roll its eyes at your learning curve. The angels I appoint to your house do not measure your value by approvals and shipments. They measure by obedience and surrender, by the aroma of trust that has begun to scent your hallways, even when the boxes remain unpacked, even when the drywall dust still sits light on the shelf. Let me speak in pictures you will remember when frustration returns to knock. Imagine your doorway at night. I see what approaches under cover of darkness. You do not. When I say wait, I am saying, I need one more pass around the perimeter. I am saying, there is a loose board in the fence. Let me fix it before you host. I am saying, someone with sticky fingers has been circling. Let me post an officer there until they lose interest. When I slow you, it is because I am speeding against what would steal you. When I hold you, it is because I am moving against what would harm you. Love moves like that. It spends itself invisibly so the beloved experiences visible peace. And here is a mystery I am willing to reveal. Some delays I allowed because prayers you prayed in other seasons are still alive and working with me. You asked me once to make sure your children would not have to heal from the same wounds you did. In order to answer that, I interrupted a plan that would have grown those very wounds inside these walls. You asked me to keep you from any path that would turn your heart cold. So I shut down a venture that would have paid you well and punished you deeply. You asked me to make your home a refuge for others who come tired. So I stretched your timeline while I strengthened your foundation, because a refuge built in a rush leans under weight. I am not ignoring your prayers. I am honoring them in ways that require more patience than panic gives and more perspective than pain offers. Now, hear me shift. The defense I have worked in delays has not been an endless holding pattern. It has been a drawing of breath before release, a building of muscle before movement, a quieting of winds before doors open so they will not slam. You have arrived at a sacred crossing point. The hour of silence is closing and the hour of breakthrough is opening. I am not inviting you into frenzy. I am inviting you into flow. You will notice in the coming days that approvals land with less effort, that the right names and numbers surface without you straining, that the parts arrive earlier than expected, that the contractor calls back with better terms, that the conversation you thought was impossible opens with softness where you feared stone. Do not sprint. Walk with me. Peace sets the pace for promise. The same hand that held you back will guide you forward. The same angels who stood at your door in the night will carry good news across your threshold in the morning. This is how you will partner with me in this shift. When a door opens, you will not apologize for walking through it. You will not drag old suspicion into rooms that are meant for joy. You will test for peace, not for fear. You will ask, Father, is this the release that aligns with your character and your care for my home? And when your spirit hears yes, you will say yes without the tremble that delay taught you. Delay was your teacher, not your tyrant. It taught you to recognize me, to prefer safety to spectacle, to value health over hurry. Carry the lesson, leave the dread. Because I am aligning your home with my timing, you will find that what once took months will take days, and what once required pleading will respond to presence. This is not because you have finally become deserving. It is because the appointed time gathers its own momentum. Not a moment before and not a moment after the rhythm still stands, but I tell you that the clock has moved. Even the calendar on your wall will witness the difference as clustered tasks begin to separate themselves and stand in order, as phone calls return, as you catch yourself saying, "That was kinder than I expected." Do not look for perfection. Look for progression saturated with peace. My releases do not create chaos. They create clarity. I know you have learned to brace yourself for disappointment. Breathe with me now as I loosen that brace. The muscles of your soul do not need to pre-clench for pain. You are not naive to hope. You are obedient to hope. Hope is not a trick. It is oxygen in my house. Speak to your rooms as I have taught you. Our times are in his hands. Our doors open by his decree. Our delays were our defense. Our release will be our rest. Teach your children this language so they grow up without resenting pauses and without worshiping hurry. Place your hand on your front door and whisper, guarded, guided, and given to good timing. Place your hand on your calendar and whisper, appointments set by wisdom, not worry. Place your hand on your heart and whisper, kept. And when reminders of the long road try to sour your joy in the new thing, return to me. I will remind you how often I saved you by slowing you. I will turn your memory into praise instead of bitterness. I will show you, if you want to see, the files in heaven marked interventions unseen, and you will cry not because you are sad, but because gratitude finally has words. I will walk you into every room that sat waiting and fill it with what waiting prepared you to receive. Steady provision, forgiveness that sticks, conversations that heal, laughter that travels without apology, rest that teaches your body a new night. Do not despise the rhythm that brought you here. The same cadence will carry you forward. So, my precious one, do you see it now? What frustrated you was often me shielding your home from unseen harm. I did not push you aside to bless another. I pulled you aside to bless you in a way that will not rot in your hands. I did not deny you. I defended you. And now, because the defense has done its work, because the watch has been faithful, and the walls are stronger, and your heart is steadier, I am stepping you into the street of favor, where you will still walk with wisdom, but you will not walk with dread. Keep your ear with me. Keep your hand open. Keep your pace with peace. The hour of breakthrough is opening, and you will know it because fear will not be driving. I will. Not a moment before, and not a moment after. Say it again with me, softly, so your home hears it, and learns it, and loves it. Not a moment before, and not a moment after. This is how I have kept you. This is how I will lead you. And as I lead, I will speak a decree over your thresholds that seals what defense accomplished and invites what destiny requires. Breathe, rest, ready your yes. Heaven has leaned low for this, and I am not late. My child, keep listening with your whole heart, because I am standing at your threshold now, and I am doing what I said I would do. I am placing my name upon your doorposts. I am drawing a line that darkness can see and cannot cross. I am sealing the lintel and the sides of your entrance with a quiet fire that storms respect. Hear me. I mark your thresholds. Storms will recognize my seal and pass by. What once came howling to rattle your windows will lose its appetite when it faces what I have inscribed here. This is not poetic comfort. This is a decree. Your address is bound to covenant. Your doorway is under my promise. Fear, you have no permission here. Accusation, you have no standing here. Despair, you will not drag your feet across this mat and call it yours. This is a covenant-covered address. This is mine. Listen closely, beloved. I am not only marking wood and metal, I am appointing witnesses. I am mobilizing angels to your thresholds, guardians posted at entries, patient and fierce, bright with assignment. I set them like sentries you cannot see, but who hold knowledge of both your story and my intention. They stand in pairs where boots and shoes rest. They stand by hinges that hold. They stand where the bell rings and hands knock, and they carry a word I have placed in their mouths. Peace lives here by promise. They patrol the night, and they do not grow bored. They move along your fence line and your common hall. They stand at the elevator and in the stairwell. They station themselves at the mailbox and the porch light. They minister calm where panic once rehearsed its lines. They interrupt whispers of dread before they land. They escort away the foxes that would make burrows in your thoughts. They bring to your rooms the fragrance of rest you thought you had lost. I am writing on your doorway like a signet pressed into warm wax, an impression that carries authority because it carries me. Do you remember the old story of homes marked when danger walked the streets at night? How what was covered was passed over? I tell you now, I have not changed my tenderness, and I have not retired my ways. I take the finished work that bears your name, and I declare it over the frame you walk beneath morning and evening. You do not worship the wood. You welcome my presence. The mark is not superstition. It is communion. It is the visible edge of an invisible companionship, the place where I say, I, the Lord your God, am here. And because I am here, fear cannot claim what I have covered. Hear how I speak to what tries to approach you. Anxiety, hear my voice. You will not drape yourself over this threshold like a shawl and pretend to be warmth. Strip off your costumes and leave. This family will not rehearse your scripts at mealtimes. Loneliness, hear me. You will not stand at the edge of this rug and tell this one they are burdensome and unseen. Your passport is invalid here. Strife, hear my decree. You will not enter laughing and leave with slammed doors. The air here is taught to hold honor. Your arguments find no oxygen. Scarcity, hear my judgment. You will not kick dust into these rooms and rename prudence as fear. Provision is the language here. Contentment is the accent. Shame, you ancient parasite, hear me. You will not hide under the mat and bite at heels coming and going. I strip you of your hiding place with light. This is my house. This is my beloved. This is covered. My child, I know the nights when you stood at this door and stared out into the dark, feeling the weight of what might come through. I know the mornings when you left with a brave face and a trembling heart, unsure if the day would return you gentle or jagged. I know the days when news moved like a chill wind through texts and headlines and voices, and you wondered if peace could stretch across all your thresholds, or if it would always be snatched away at the entry. Hear me settle that wondering. I am appointing peace as the law of your doorway. Not a moment before and not a moment after will any influence cross this frame unless peace itself opens the door. This does not mean your life will be without challenge. It means challenge may not reign inside these walls. It means when rain drums and lightning names your address out loud, your thresholds will bear witness against fear, so that fear must pass by. It means that when words rise between those who share this roof, the argument will hit the doorframe and remember who brought you together, and voices will soften because honor heard its own name pronounced by the wood I marked. I want you to feel the weight of this with me. Place your hand, now, where hands have pushed and pulled this door 1,000 times. Feel how solid it is under your palm. I am more solid. Whisper with me. Covered. Whisper again until your bones agree. Covered. There are papers in the courts of heaven with your address and my name printed together. There are assignments issued in the language of angels that read, Stand watch at your door, both when laughter spills and when weariness drags feet. Heaven has leaned low to attend to the comings and goings of your household, not because you are fragile, but because you are precious. I will not allow what I did not send to enter without facing me first. This is how you will know. My seal is active. Little things that used to sneak in will feel too heavy to carry over this line. The habit of bringing home every unprocessed frustration and dropping it like a bag in the nearest corner will begin to feel wrong. The practice of speaking curses about your day in the doorway as if the frame were a confessional for bitterness will suddenly taste like gravel. The itch to open your door to every opinion, every rumor, every dread posted and passed along will quiet because discernment is growing here. You will find yourself pausing with your hand on the knob and asking, Peace, do you open this? And you will feel me nod or shake my head. Do not be surprised when a delivery of distraction arrives and the package looks innocent. Listen, and if I say, not for you, leave it at the step. What others call preference, I call protection. Your doorway is a teacher now. I will also give you pictures for partnering with me because I honor you as steward of this sanctuary. Greet your threshold the way you greet a friend who keeps your secrets and guards your joy. In the morning when you leave, speak over it. We go with peace. We return with peace. In the evening when you return, lay your hand upon it and declare, we lay down what does not belong. We carry in what is pure. When words get heated close to this door, step back with me and breathe. And let the frame remind you of covenant to be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to become angry. Teach the children who run in and out to touch the wood lightly and say, loved, so their bodies learn that even in motion they are under covering. If you desire a token, take oil in your hand, common oil made uncommon by prayer, and touch the upper beam and the sides, whispering my name and lining your house with remembrance. Not because oil itself protects, but because your heart, joining mine, builds an altar at the threshold. and altars anchor atmospheres. I am training you to see your thresholds as more than hinges and paint. Your digital doorway is a threshold. Set angels there with your choices. Your conversations at the doorway of your mind are thresholds. Post peace there with your meditations. The screens you allow to flood your rooms are thresholds. Let honor be the bouncer who checks IDs at the door. The friendships you permit to step across this line are thresholds. Prefer those who add courage rather than those who remove it. I do not demand a house without guests. I establish a house with gates. Gates open and close on purpose. And I, the Lord your God, am the keeper standing with you, so you never have to choose alone. Let me tell you what storms will do when they see this seal. They will still brew at a distance. Clouds will still gather on horizons, like opinions growing online. But when they reach your street, when their hands stretch toward your latch, they will feel the heat of my name branded there, and they will lose their nerve. They will veer. They will be forced to pour themselves out where their threats do not become your atmosphere. If the storm is allowed to water your ground for growth, it will come soft and clean. And when it is finished, the light will find your walls still shining. If a thief tries to test the window, they will run into watchful eyes they cannot argue with. If rumors try to blow under the gap, they will slink away when truth, posted at ankle height, stares back. If grief must visit, and sometimes it must, it will be ushered in with honor and seated in a chair where comfort can attend to it. It will not be allowed to rearrange your furniture and rename your rooms. This is the difference a covered threshold makes. Even what is hard does not lord itself over you. I saw the day you felt your door was not enough, when you wished for thicker locks and more cameras because safety felt far. I do not despise wisdom or careful measures. Use them as tools. But hear me, there is a safety nothing human-made can fabricate, a safety that sits in the unseen and enfolds the seen. I am that safety. My angels are not a fantasy. They carry assignments, and they complete them. When your child hesitates at the door and says, I had a bad dream, notice how their shoulders lower when you say, peace is watching the door. Notice how your own breath lengthens when you stand at the threshold and say, this house is the Lord's, and you feel the floor agree beneath your feet. I am teaching your space to echo me. There will be days when old fear comes to visit like a relative who knocks without warning and leans too close. You will be tempted to let it in because it knows your history. Do not entertain it as a guest. Step to the threshold with me and speak as I am speaking now. Fear, you have no permission here. We are not rude. We are resolute. We will not shout. We will simply not open. And if fear tries the back door through your devices, through endless what-ifs and worst-case rehearsals, my angels will meet it at the patio and shut it down with laughter that sounds like water over stones. I have equipped your house with instruments of peace, music that lifts, words that bless, silence that holds, prayer that saturates, and they will play more often at the edge. So what is trying to enter must dance to a different song or leave. My child, I am not just chasing away what threatens. I am also welcoming what builds. I decree that kindness will find your handle easy to grasp and will enter often. I decree that wisdom will cross your threshold like a friend with spare keys. I decree that provision will locate your address even when you cannot see the delivery vehicle turning the corner. I decree that reconciliation will stand on your mat and be invited in at the right time. I decree that laughter will not be asked to whisper at the door, and that joy will not be apologized to the hallway. I decree that rest will learn your schedule and arrive early. I decree that the sound of forgiveness shutting the door on offense will become one of your favorite sounds. I decree that the nights you once counted by hours of worry will turn into nights you count by breaths of relief. I decree that the threshold you touch today will remember your hand tomorrow and remind you when you forget. Now, partner with me in the way you host your home. Do not rehearse fear at the doorway. Do not tell strife. Make yourself comfortable. Do not let cynicism track mud through rooms you have been cleaning with hope. Wipe your feet on the mat of honor and ask those who enter to do the same, not as control, but as care. Keep a sentence ready at the threshold, a simple liturgy that sets the tone. Peace to all who cross here. Love to all who dwell here. Wisdom for all who choose here. Keep a small place near the door where burdens are laid, a hook on which you hang your worries like a coat you refuse to wear inside. A bowl where keys rest with the reminder that you do not have to solve everything before you sit down. Let the first words that kiss the air inside be blessing, not complaint. Let the last words before sleep agree with covering, not with fear. Practice this, and you will feel the wood learn your voice and echo it back to you on weary days. I am not asking you to pretend that hard things do not knock. I am training you to answer with me. When grief knocks, we will say, "We will sit with you, but you may not rename the rooms." When temptation knocks, we will say, "You are not welcome. You have no right of entry." When opportunity knocks, we will ask peace to open, and if peace opens, we will welcome with courage. When fatigue knocks, we will not scold it. We will escort it to a chair and cover it with rest. In all of this, I remain the keeper. My covering is reliable. My name does not fade with weather. My angels do not fall asleep on shifts. My promise does not bend to pressure. Your doorways are sealed by my promise. Fear cannot claim what I have covered. Return your hand to the frame once more and breathe. Feel me there, with you not distant, not theoretical, but nearer than the grain beneath your fingertips. Whisper, "We are covered," and let the rooms hear you. Whisper, "We receive peace," and let the hallway carry the sound. Whisper, "We agree with protection," and let this agreement settle like a soft cloak over everyone who sleeps under this roof. I am not leaving. I am not late. I am not a guest here. I am the Lord of this house, and I delight to dwell with you. Keep this threshold as you would keep a sacred path, and watch how even your coming and going becomes worship. Now walk back into your rooms with this knowledge. Every entry is watched. Every exit is blessed. When you step out to work, to learn, to serve, to seek, the mark on your door will bless your back and greet your return. When children slam it open with screams of play, peace will run to meet them before you can. When guests arrive with stories in their eyes, my covering will create a haven for truth. And when night spreads its shawl and the house quiets, your thresholds will stand like starlit guardians, and my presence will hum through the frame like a lullaby. My beloved child, I have decreed it, and I will keep it. Your doorways are sealed by my promise. Fear cannot claim what I have covered. Walk in that, and host your home accordingly. Now, my child, because your thresholds are sealed, do not think I will leave the inside untouched. I am not only the God who guards the frame, I am the God who tends the air. I am not only the keeper at the door, I am the purifier in the rooms. And I speak to you with tenderness and urgency, because I love you too much to let you live covered on the outside while breathing heaviness on the inside. Listen closely. There are things that have been allowed to linger in your home, not always because you wanted them, not always because you chose them with open hands, but because you grew tired, because you grew busy, because you learned to survive by tolerating what should have been evicted. But I am here now, and I am teaching you that peace is not only a gift to receive, it is an atmosphere to steward. Evict what partners with fear so my peace can breathe in your rooms. Start here. Release the rehearsed complaint. Yes, that sentence you say every day like it is a report, like it is a ritual, like it is the first thing that belongs on your tongue when you step into the kitchen or the bathroom or the living room. It's always something. Nothing ever works. We can't catch a break. This house is a mess. I'm so behind. My child, I am not condemning you for being tired. I am not scolding you for feeling pressure. I am not demanding a fake smile while your hands are full. I am simply telling you the truth in love. Your words are keys. Your words either invite fear or welcome peace. Your mouth is not only for describing the atmosphere, it is for shaping it. When complaint becomes rehearsed, it becomes a welcome mat for dread. When frustration becomes a daily chant, it trains your rooms to brace for impact. And I did not cover your doorposts so that you could keep opening windows to panic with your speech. So I am giving you a holy exchange. When the old complaint rises, pause, put your hand on your chest and breathe with me. Then let a new sentence be born. Not denial, not pretending, but alignment. Say, we have what we need for today. Say, peace lives here. Say, the Lord is helping us. Say, we are learning, we are growing, we are covered. Do you feel the difference, beloved? One set of words makes the air thin and sharp, like a room without oxygen. The other makes the air soft and inhabitable, like a lamp turned on in a corner you forgot was there. I am not asking you to lie. I am asking you to agree with me. There is a way to name what is hard without inviting what is dark. There is a way to acknowledge pressure without worshiping it. There is a way to say, "This is heavy," while also saying, "And I am not alone." Now listen, because this is where many homes lose the peace I bring, the night. My child, the night is not only a time on the clock, it is a threshold of the mind. It is where thoughts try to grow claws. It is where the enemy tries to turn your bed into a courtroom and your pillow into a ledger, rehearsing everything you did wrong, everything you did not finish, everything you fear might happen. And you have been feeding that courtroom without realizing it. You have been leaving the door cracked with violent noise, anxious scrolling, comparison windows, and late-night voices that speak in tones that do not belong to me. Hear me. Close the door to fear-fueling inputs at night. Close it with love. Close it with wisdom. Close it like a parent turning off a lamp for a child who has cried long enough and needs rest. Do not let your last intake be chaos, and then wonder why your dreams feel hunted. Do not let your eyes drink fear for an hour, and then demand your heart produce peace in 5 minutes. Do not lie down with other people's highlight reels glowing in your hands, and then punish yourself because your life feels ordinary. Comparison is a thief that does not break in through the front door. It slips in through the screen and sits at the foot of your bed like an uninvited narrator. Anxious scrolling is not information. It is a treadmill for the nervous system. Violent noise is not entertainment. It is training your body to expect harm. My beloved, I am not trying to take joy from you. I am protecting you from what stains your inner rooms. The same way you would not pour smoke into a nursery, do not pour terror into your spirit and call it normal. So tonight, before your head touches the pillow, practice a gentle shutting. Turn off what agitates, dim what compares, silence what accuses. And in that quiet, do something that feels almost too simple to matter. Breathe and invite me. Say, "Lord, stand watch over this night." Say, "Jesus, fill this room with peace." Let your last sounds be sounds that carry my name, or sounds that carry stillness, because stillness is also a language I speak. Put a boundary around the final hour of your day. Guard it like oil in a lamp. That hour is holy ground because it shapes the atmosphere of your sleep, and your sleep shapes the strength of your tomorrow. And I speak to another thing that has been hiding in plain sight, tokens that keep you tethered to shame stories. My child, there are objects, messages, pictures, clothes, gifts, old notes, old receipts, old reminders, that keep pulling you back into a version of you that I already redeemed. Some of these things sit in drawers. Some sit in closets. Some sit in boxes under the bed like buried accusations. Some sit on your phone like a shrine to what hurt you, and you call it memory, but it is actually a chain. You call it being realistic, but it is actually staying loyal to pain. Hear me, you are not your old labels. You are not the name someone called you in anger. You are not the role you had to play to survive. You are not the worst day you ever lived through. You are not the mistake you keep replaying. You are not the rejection you still carry like a stamp on your forehead. I have given you a new name, and I do not want your home to keep displaying the old one. So go, and with me, do some spiritual housekeeping that looks like ordinary cleaning but carries holy authority. Take down what mocks your healing. Delete what keeps reopening the wound. Put away what keeps whispering, "You will never change." Release the items that were born in compromise and still smell like it, and do not be afraid of the tenderness that comes with this. Some things you hold are attached to grief, and grief will try to convince you that letting go means dishonoring what mattered. But I am the God of remembrance, and I am telling you, you can remember without remaining bound. You can honor a season without living there. You can learn from the past without letting it decorate your present. If an object keeps you bowed, it is not a keepsake, it is a weight. If a message keeps you small, it is not proof, it is poison. If a photo keeps you trapped in what you lost, it is not comfort. It is a window that never closes. Close it, beloved. Close it with prayer. Close it with gratitude for what I carried you through. Close it with the confidence that you are walking forward. And while you remove what tethers you to shame, I want you to open something that many homes keep shut: gratitude. Gratitude is not a personality trait, it is an atmosphere maker. It is a window that lets light in without asking permission from circumstances. And I am giving you a simple practice, not as a rule to burden you, but as a rhythm to rescue you. Set a daily moment. 1 moment, my child. You can do this when you name 3 mercies in your home. 3. Not 10, not 50, not a performance, not a competition. 3 mercies. Say them out loud so the rooms learn them. Thank you for the roof that holds. Thank you for the bed that rests. Thank you for the water that runs. Thank you for the laughter that returned. Thank you for the meal, even if it is small. Thank you for the strength to wash 1 cup. Thank you that we made it through another day. Thank you for the breath in this house. My child, I have been in your home through seasons when you thought nothing was happening, and mercy was still happening. Mercy was still happening in the fact that you woke up. Mercy was still happening in the fact that you kept loving when you were tired. Mercy was still happening in the fact that you did not break, even when you felt close. When you name mercies, you are not ignoring problems. You are inviting my presence to stand taller than them. Gratitude does not deny the storm. It builds an ark in the middle of it. Now, fill the soundscape with peace. Some homes are loud, but not alive. Some homes are quiet, but not restful. The difference is what the silence is filled with. My child, do not let your rooms be filled only with the hum of worry, the chatter of bad news, the constant commentary of people who do not carry my heart. Replace it. Not with strain, not with noise for noise's sake, but with the gentle weight of holy sound. Let worship rise in the morning, even if it is soft. Even if it is 1 song while you make the bed. Let a paraphrased scripture be spoken like a lamp being lit. The Lord is my shepherd, we will not lack. The Lord watches over our coming and going. Peace is ours, and fear has no permission. You do not have to be eloquent, you have to be aligned. Your home does not need a performance, it needs agreement. And do not underestimate gentle silence. There is a silence that is empty, where the mind spirals and the heart panics. But there is a silence that is full, where I am near, where you can hear your own breath return, where the atmosphere stops shaking. Practice that silence on purpose. Turn off the extra voices and let the room settle. Let children learn what calm feels like. Let your own nervous system learn that it does not have to stay on guard to be safe. My presence often comes like a whisper, because it does not compete with chaos, it replaces it. Give me space to be heard. Now hear me, because this is where protection multiplies. Your peace is not only about what you watch and what you remove, it is about how you treat one another under this roof. I am cleaning the air, and the air in a home is carried on words between family. So I am speaking into your relationships with the same authority I used at your threshold. Guard the atmosphere of love. Protection grows in the soil of honor and forgiveness. If you want peace to breathe here, do not let contempt take up residence. Do not let sarcasm become the family language. Do not let small offenses pile up like clutter until no one can move freely. Honor is not weakness. Honor is strength under control. Honor is the decision to treat each person in this house as someone I love, someone I see, someone I am shaping. And forgiveness is not calling wrong right. Forgiveness is refusing to let wrong rule the rooms. My child, there are apologies that need to be spoken simply. I'm sorry I snapped. I'm sorry I withdrew. I'm sorry I made you feel like a problem. There are blessings that need to be spoken intentionally. I'm proud of you. I'm grateful for you. You matter here. You are safe with me. These sentences are not small. They are spiritual ventilation. They let stale air out. They let peace circulate again. If there is tension between you and someone you live with, do not ignore it and call it maturity. Do not cover it with busyness and call it peace. Invite me into it. Sit at a table, even if it is only for 5 minutes, and let humility speak first. The enemy loves a home that is sealed at the door but divided at the table. But I am healing what is hidden, remember. I am not an accuser, I am a healer. I will teach you how to disagree without dishonoring. I will teach you how to correct without crushing. I will teach you how to lead without controlling. I will teach you how to listen without preparing your defense. And as you do this, you will feel something shift that you could not manufacture with locks and cameras and plans. The air will clear. So, my beloved child, make room for my peace the way you make room for a guest you truly want to stay. Take out the trash of rehearsed complaint. Shut the nightly door to fear-fueling inputs. Remove the tokens that keep shame alive. Open gratitude like windows in the morning, and name 3 mercies until the walls remember to thank me. Fill your soundscape with worship, with truth spoken gently, with silence that is full of my nearness, and then tend to the soil between hearts, honor, forgiveness, kindness, because that is where protection grows roots. I am not asking you to do this alone. I am walking the halls with you. I am standing beside you while you delete what hurts, while you throw out what accuses, while you turn off what agitates, while you speak a new sentence in the doorway of your kitchen. And as you partner with me, you will feel it, my child. The house will feel lighter, your chest will unclench. The night will stop feeling like a threat, the morning will stop feeling like a burden. Peace will not be a visitor. It will become the way your home breathes. And once the air is clean, once what partnered with fear has been evicted, then what I am about to do next will have room to flourish. Because protection is not only a boundary around you, it is a life within you, growing in the soil of love. Now, my beloved child, because the air is clearing and because the rooms are learning how to breathe again, I am bringing you to the place where many households win or lose the peace I have given them, the way love is carried between the people under your roof. Do not treat this as a small thing. Do not call it just words, or just a tone, or just a season. The enemy has always known that if he cannot break your doorposts, he will try to drain your table. If he cannot enter through a window, he will try to enter through a wound. If he cannot steal your home with disaster, he will try to suffocate it with distance, with offense, with unspoken resentment, with sharpness that becomes normal, with silence that becomes punishment, with sarcasm that pretends to be humor but is actually a blade. But I am here, and I am teaching you how to guard the atmosphere of love, because where honor and forgiveness live, my protection multiplies. Listen closely, because I am speaking to the part of you that has grown tired of being the one who always tries, the one who always initiates, the one who always softens first. I saw the times you swallowed words to keep the peace, and then your own heart felt unseen. I saw you carry responsibility like a backpack you never take off. I saw you stand in a kitchen and feel alone, even when others were in the house. I saw you long for warmth, for tenderness, for laughter that does not feel forced. And I am not asking you to become smaller. I am not asking you to accept dishonor. I am not asking you to pretend the pain did not happen. I am asking you to let me teach you a holy way forward that does not surrender your boundaries, but does restore your bonds. I am asking you to protect your home from the inside out by practicing the ways of my heart. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, because a home that listens becomes a home that heals. My child, quick to listen does not mean quick to agree with everything said. It means you stop trying to win the moment and you start trying to understand the heart. It means you do not answer while the other person is still bleeding. It means you do not correct while they are still trembling. It means you do not build your case while they are trying to build their courage. There have been conversations in your home where everyone spoke, but no one felt heard. There have been nights where you defended, they defended, and the wound grew teeth. And you called it communication, but it was actually survival. I am changing that in you. I am putting my hand on your tongue and my peace on your breathing. I am teaching you to pause long enough for love to enter the sentence before it leaves your mouth. Slow to speak, beloved, is not weakness. Slow to speak is strength that refuses to partner with impulse. Slow to speak is protection, because once words leave, they do not return the same. Some of you have been living in a home haunted by sentences that were spoken in exhaustion. You never help. You always ruin everything. I can't stand you. Why can't you be like? You're just like your father. You're just like your mother. My child. I heard those words even when they were whispered, and I saw the way they landed like stones in a small chest, the way a child's eyes changed, the way a spouse's shoulders tightened, the way a heart began to close a door it did not know how to reopen. But hear me, apology is a key that unlocks stuck doors. Humility is not humiliation. Repentance is not groveling. An apology is not losing. It is choosing love over pride, choosing future over stubbornness, choosing peace over being right. Some of you have been waiting for the other person to apologize first, and you have called it fairness. But my child, there are moments when I will ask you to go first, not because you are more guilty, but because you are more free. Not because you were the only one wrong, but because you are the one who is ready to break the cycle. I am not condemning the person who hurt you. I am commissioning the person who will heal the atmosphere. And when you say, "I'm sorry," with sincerity, you are not just repairing a moment. You are breaking an agreement with hardness, that has tried to become your home's normal. You are unlocking a door that has been stuck not because the love died, but because pride parked itself in the doorway and refused to move. So I am giving you a practice, simple enough to do, strong enough to change the air. When tension rises, become quick to listen. Ask one question before you make one accusation. Say, "Help me understand what you meant." Say, "Tell me what you felt." Say, "What do you need right now?" And if you are the one who spoke harshly, do not justify it with your stress. Do not excuse it with your past. Do not baptize it with your fatigue. Bring it to me, and then bring it to them with humility. Say, "That was sharp, I'm sorry." Say, "I didn't honor you with my tone, forgive me." Say, "I was afraid and I sounded angry, I'm sorry." My beloved, those words are not small, they are keys. They unlock hearts, they unlock laughter, they unlock safety, they unlock the ability to be close again without bracing. And now, I want to talk to you about the table, because the table is not just furniture in your home, it is an altar of atmosphere. The enemy fears a family that eats together in peace. The enemy fears a household that looks at each other's eyes. The enemy fears a home that prays, even a whisper over a meal, because when you bless food, you also bless the future, and you have allowed the table to become rushed, or scattered, or silent, or filled with screens that steal presence while pretending to bring comfort. My child, I am not angry with you for surviving with what you had. I know schedules. I know exhaustion. I know the way life can feel like a constant sprint. But I am calling you back to one act of restoration this week. One shared meal without screens. One, not perfection, not pressure. One. This week, set the phones down, turn the television off. Even if the meal is simple, even if it is leftovers, even if it is cereal, even if it is takeout eaten on paper plates, let it be holy because you are present. And hear me. At this table, ask and bless, not accuse and rush. Do not use this meal as a courtroom. Do not gather everyone to finally release your frustration like a flood. Do not turn the table into a place where everyone braces for critique. My beloved, there is a way to address problems, but there is also a way to restore hearts, and tonight I am training you in restoration. So at that meal, ask one gentle question that opens a window instead of closing a door. What was the best part of your day? What was the hardest part? What do you want me to help you with this week? And then, bless. Speak one sentence of life over each person at the table. One sentence, not a speech, not a performance. One sentence that carries my heart. For, I'm grateful for you. I see how hard you tried today. You mattered to me today. I love you. I'm proud of you. Thank you for being here. My child, blessings are not just nice words. Blessings are atmosphere makers. They train a home to expect goodness. They teach hearts to soften. They remove the armor people wear when they feel constantly evaluated. And as you bless instead of accuse, you will feel me at the table, because I dwell where love is practiced. Now I am speaking to parents, and I am speaking to spouses, and I am speaking to children who have grown into adults, and I am speaking to anyone living with anyone. You must guard the doorway of the day, because coming and going are spiritual moments. There are homes where the first words spoken in the morning are criticism, and the last words spoken at night are complaint. And then everyone wonders why the house feels heavy. My beloved, shift it. Place blessing at the doorway. When someone leaves, speak life. When they return, speak peace. Become a doorkeeper of love. When your child walks out, even if they are moody, even if they roll their eyes, even if they are late, speak life anyway. Say, you are covered today. Say, the Lord goes with you. Say, you have wisdom. Say, you will be protected. Say, you are loved. When your spouse leaves, do not let the last sound be a sigh of irritation. Give them a sentence that feels like shelter. Drive safe. I'm with you. I believe in you. We will be okay, my child. I know some of you have been afraid every time someone walks out because you have lived through loss, because you have lived through betrayal, because you have lived through abandonment, and the enemy has tried to make departures feel like threats. But I am redeeming your doorway. I am teaching you to bless the leaving and bless the returning, because blessing at the threshold builds a hedge in the unseen. And when they come back home, do not greet them with a list. Do not greet them with a ledger. Do not greet them with what they forgot, what they did wrong, what they still need to do. There is a time to talk about responsibility, yes, and I will give you wisdom for that. But first, greet them with peace. Say, welcome home. Say, I'm glad you're here. Say, you're safe. Say, how are you, my beloved? A home that welcomes becomes a refuge, and a refuge is harder for fear to occupy. When people feel safe to return, they return with softer hearts. When they expect attack, they return with armor. And armor in a home turns every touch into a bruise. I am removing that armor, not by force, but by love. Now hear me about the night, because the night has been a battleground for many of you, not only in your minds, but in your relationships. There are households where conflict goes to bed and wakes up stronger. There are homes where silence becomes a weapon, where people turn their backs and call it space, but it is actually punishment. There are marriages where the bed has become cold, not because love is gone, but because offense has been allowed to sleep there too many nights. My child, I am giving you a practice that will change the climate. Practice short reconciliations before sleep. Do not let the sun set on the same wound twice. I am not demanding you solve every issue before you sleep. Some conversations take time, some healings take layers, but I am commanding you not to let contempt camp overnight in your home. So if there is tension, do something small but holy before the lights go out. Touch a shoulder, hold a hand, say, we are okay even while we work this out. Say, I love you, and we will talk tomorrow with calmer hearts. Say, I'm sorry for my part. Say, will you forgive me? Say, let's pray one sentence. My beloved, one sentence of prayer can cleanse more than an hour of argument. One whispered, Lord, help us, can break a spiral. One, Jesus, cover our home tonight can shift the atmosphere from war to rest. The enemy wants you exhausted so you say things you don't mean. I want you rested so you can hear me. That is why reconciliation before sleep is protection. It is a boundary against escalation. It is a refusal to let fear and pride and bitterness write tomorrow's script. And for the one who says, but you don't know what they said to me, hear me. I know, I was there. I heard the tone. I saw the moment. I saw the disrespect. I saw the neglect. I saw the way you felt invisible. And I am not minimizing it. I am not telling you to accept abuse. I am not asking you to stay in harm. I am your protector. I will guide you with wisdom and with help and with proper boundaries. But I am speaking to the everyday atmosphere, the patterns that can be healed, the sharpness that can be softened, the distance that can be bridged, the routines that can be redeemed. I am telling you that forgiveness in a home is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice of refusing to let yesterday rule today. It is choosing to clean the air again and again until the home learns a new normal. Some of you have been grieving the family you thought you would have. You imagined laughter and you got tension. You imagined unity and you got division. You imagined tenderness and you got roommates. And you have wondered if I noticed, if I cared, if I would ever step into that ache. My child, I noticed, I cared, and I have stepped in. I am walking your halls, remember? I am healing what is hidden. I am restoring what has been strained. And I am not only protecting you from intruders, I am protecting you from becoming strangers to each other. Because a house can be locked and still be lonely. A home can be secure and still be cold. But I am warming what has gone numb. I am returning gentleness to voices that forgot how to be gentle. I am teaching you how to correct without crushing, how to lead without controlling, how to speak truth without tearing down the one you love. So, I want you to practice this, and I want you to practice it with me, not in your own willpower. When you feel yourself getting sharp, pause and invite me into your mouth. When you feel yourself withdrawing, pause and invite me into your heart. When you feel yourself blaming, pause and invite me into your perspective. Say, Lord, help me listen. Say, Lord, help me respond with peace. Say, Lord, give me the right words. My child, I give wisdom generously to those who ask. I can give you one sentence that changes the whole direction of a night. I can give you one question that opens a closed person. I can give you one moment of tenderness that melts a week of tension. Do not underestimate what I can do with a willing heart. And hear me. Protection multiplies when honor becomes the culture of your home. Culture is not built in big moments. It is built in repeated ones. Culture is built in the way you say good morning, Culture is built in the way you respond to mistakes. Culture is built in the way you speak about someone when they are not in the room. So I am calling you to honor behind backs as well as to faces. Do not let your home become a place where people are talked about instead of talked to. Do not let frustration become gossip in the hallway. Do not let your children hear contempt as entertainment. Guard your tongue, beloved, because your tongue is a brush and it paints the rooms. Paint them with life. And I am speaking to you, my precious one, who lives alone or feels alone, even with people nearby. You are still a household I protect. Your atmosphere still matters. The way you speak to yourself still shapes your rooms. Some of the harshest words in your home have not come from others. They have come from you to you. You have called yourself names. You have replayed failures. You have punished yourself with inner commentary. My child, honor is not only how you treat others. It is how you treat the person I created you to be. Speak to yourself with the tenderness I speak to you. Apologize to your own heart for the ways you have agreed with accusation. Say, Lord, forgive me for partnering with shame, and then bless your own life at your doorway. When you leave, say, I am covered. When you return, say, peace lives here. You are not forgotten. You are not less protected because your table has fewer chairs. I sit with you. I fill the quiet with my presence, and I will restore what loneliness tried to steal. Now, my beloved child, I am going to ask you for a gentle act of agreement, not to perform, not to prove, but to keep receiving this covering as I teach you week by week how to steward the peace I am pouring out. If you need ongoing prayers for your home, if you need these coverings to meet you again and again, then subscribe, so this channel becomes like a lighthouse over your address, so these words of peace find you when you are tired, when you are tempted to return to old patterns, when you need a reminder that you are not doing this alone. Let it be a point of agreement, a way of saying, yes, Lord, keep teaching me, keep guarding us, keep restoring us. Because I am not visiting once and leaving, I am establishing something. I am building a dwelling place, and I will keep giving you wisdom for your rooms, for your relationships, for your nights, for your mornings, for your table, for your doorways. And as you guard the atmosphere of love, you will notice that the whole home begins to respond. The walls feel less tight, the silence feels less threatening, the laughter returns without needing permission. The children's nervous systems soften, the adults stop bracing. The night becomes quieter, not because problems vanished overnight, but because peace took its rightful seat. And where peace sits, fear must stand outside. Where forgiveness flows, accusation dries up. Where honor is practiced, protection multiplies. This is my promise to you, and I will not let you leave this moment unchanged. Now stay with me, my child, because I am not only guarding your hearts and your conversations, I am also going to cover your pantry and your plans. I am provider. I will feed your future, and I will bring financial peace into the place where worry has been eating at you, because my protection is not partial, it is personal, it is practical, it is complete. Look at me, my beloved child, because I am stepping with you into the place where your mind has been running in circles, into the place where you have been doing math at midnight, into the place where you have been opening apps with a tight chest, into the place where you have been staring at a pantry and trying to stretch what is left. I am not far from your bills. I am not absent from your numbers. I am not offended by your need. And I am not silent while worry tries to sit at your table and pretend it belongs there. I have watched you try to be strong. I have watched you say, it's fine, while your stomach turned. I have watched you choose the cheaper option and still feel guilty. I have watched you postpone something you needed because someone else needed something first. I have watched you carry the responsibility of provision like a weight on your shoulders, and then smile so your family would not feel the pressure. I saw you stand in the kitchen and calculate, not only money, but time and energy, and how much longer you can hold everything together without help. And I am speaking to you now, not to shame you, not to make you afraid, but to awaken you to the truth. I am provider, and my provision is not only a miracle that falls from the sky, it is wisdom that guides your feet, strategy that orders your days, peace that steadies your choices, and favor that meets you in ordinary places. So listen closely, because this is where many of you have been praying with a trembling voice. You have asked me for supply, and yes, I heard you. You have asked me for relief, and yes, I care. You have asked me to make a way, and I am making one. But I am telling you, my child, ask me for strategy, not just supply. Ask me for understanding, not just an emergency rescue. Ask me for a plan that breathes, not just a moment that patches. Because I delight to give both. I delight to put bread on your table, and I delight to put clarity in your mind. I delight to open doors of provision, and I delight to train your hands to steward what comes through those doors so fear cannot return through the same crack. I am walking into your kitchen with you, and I am looking at more than cabinets and counters. I am looking at agreements. I am looking at patterns. I am looking at habits that were formed under pressure. I am looking at spending that became a soothing mechanism when life felt heavy. I am looking at avoidance that grew when numbers felt too painful to face. I am looking at conversations that were delayed because you were afraid of conflict. I am looking at the unspoken tension that rises when money is mentioned. The way voices change, the way shoulders lift, the way love gets tested, and I am not here to accuse. I am here as a father who protects, and part of my protection is this. I teach you to face what you have feared, because what you will face with me will not destroy you, it will free you. My precious one, I am going to bring peace into your finances the same way I brought peace into your rooms. By establishing order where chaos was normalized, by removing fear where it has been permitted, and by giving you a practice that keeps the atmosphere clean. You do not need a complicated system to begin. You need honesty, unity, and consistency. You need the courage to look at what is true without punishing yourself, and the humility to invite me into the decisions you used to make alone. Many of you have been making money decisions like an orphan, bracing, grasping, hiding, rushing, or shutting down. But you are not an orphan. You are mine. And when a child of mine asks for wisdom, I do not mock them, I instruct them. When a child of mine needs provision, I do not withhold out of coldness. I provide out of covenant love. So I am giving you a simple step, my child. Bring your finances into the light, not into public display, into my presence. Stop letting shame be the accountant of your home. Stop letting fear be the financial advisor of your heart. Sit down, yes, literally sit down with whatever you have, and say, Lord, I invite you here. Open the statements, open the notes, open the calendar, open the list. And do not do it with panic. Do it with prayer, because when you invite me, you are not inviting condemnation. You are inviting counsel, and I will begin to highlight what matters, not to overwhelm you, but to steady you. Some of you need to start with a budget, and you have resisted that word because it felt like restriction. But a budget, when done with me, is not punishment. It is a boundary that protects peace. It is simply a plan that tells your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. And the reason fear has been loud is because uncertainty has been loud. So, I will quiet uncertainty with structure. Write it down. Keep it simple. You do not need 12 categories to begin. You need truth in a few. Shelter, food, transportation, utilities, debt, savings if possible, giving as I lead. And then, my beloved, set a small margin for joy that does not sabotage you, because some of you have swung between two extremes, spending to cope, then starving yourself as punishment. That is not my way. I am teaching you to live in wisdom, not whiplash. And I am speaking to couples now, and to families, and to roommates, and to anyone sharing a household. Come into shared goals. Do not let money be the silent third person in your home, the one who dictates moods and fuels resentment. You must speak with love and clarity. You must come into unity. The enemy loves financial confusion because it produces accusation. You spend too much. You don't do enough. You don't understand. You never listen. But I am teaching you a different language. I am teaching you to sit at the table and say, we are on the same team. I am teaching you to set one goal together that builds hope. One goal that can be measured. One goal that can be celebrated. We will pay this down. We will save this amount. We will stop this leak. We will build a small cushion. My child, hope is not a feeling. Hope is often a plan. And when you have a plan, the atmosphere changes because you are no longer only reacting, you are building. And hear me, contentment is not giving up. Contentment is not pretending you do not desire more. Contentment is peace that refuses to be controlled by comparison. Contentment is a shield over your home because comparison always demands a sacrifice. And it often demands that you sacrifice joy. Some of you have been scrolling and feeling pressure rise, seeing other people's vacations, other people's renovations, other people's clothes, other people's cars. And then you look around your home and feel like you are behind, like you are failing, like you are less blessed. My child, close that door. That pressure is not from me. I have not asked you to keep up with anyone. I have asked you to keep step with me. And when you practice contentment, you diffuse the pressure that makes people spend money they do not have to impress people they do not even feel safe with. I am breaking that cycle in your home. You will not buy your worth. You will not rent your identity. You will not finance your peace. I am your portion, and I will teach you how to live with dignity, with wisdom, with joy, without bondage. Now, I am not only teaching you how to manage what you have, I am also releasing the multiplication that comes from small faithfulness. Listen to me, because this is a law of my kingdom. When you are faithful with little, you make room for more. Not because you earn my love was never earned, but because faithfulness builds capacity. Many of you have been waiting for a big breakthrough to start stewarding well. But I am telling you, start stewarding well and you will recognize the breakthrough when it arrives. Start with what is in your hand. Start with what is in your pantry. Start with what is in your account. Start with what is in your schedule. I can multiply what you place in my hands, but you must stop despising the small beginning. You must stop calling the seed not enough. A seed is not meant to feel like a harvest. It is meant to be planted with trust. So, I am going to show you where leaks have been hiding. Some of you have been faithful in the big bills, but there are small drains, subscriptions you forgot, habits you normalized, impulse spending that happens when you feel empty, convenience choices that stack because you are exhausted. My child, I do not say this to burden you. I say it because you are about to find money you thought you did not have. You are about to recover margin you thought was gone. I will give you eyes to see what can be trimmed without shame and without fear, and as you do, you will feel lighter. Not because life became perfect, but because you are no longer bleeding in places you did not know you were bleeding. And some of you, my beloved, need to hear this specifically. I will give you creative solutions. I will put ideas in your mind that are not strained. I will open side doors you did not consider. I will connect you to timely help. There are skills in you that you have underestimated. There are gifts in you that have been sleeping. There are abilities you thought were just a hobby, just something small, but I can breathe on it. I can turn a small offering into a stream. I can give you favor with clients, favor with employers, favor in interviews, favor in negotiations. I can teach you to ask for what you are worth without fear. I can teach you to price your work with wisdom. I can teach you to say no to what drains you and yes to what builds you. Ask me for strategy, not just supply, and I will answer you with steps, quiet steps, steady steps, practical steps that lead you out of the wilderness of confusion. Now I am going to speak to the ache you carry when you feel behind. Some of you have said, Lord, why did it take so long? Why am I still here? Why did this happen? And I tell you again, my child, delay was not always denial. Sometimes it was defense. Sometimes I was shielding you from agreements you could not see, loans that would have trapped you, partnerships that would have drained you, houses that would have become burdens, jobs that would have cost you your health, opportunities that looked like favor but carried hidden hooks. You do not know how many times I redirected you for your protection. You do not know how many times I slowed you down so you would not be crushed by something you were calling an open door. So do not resent the season that taught you to lean on me. Do not despise the season that trained your discernment. It did not waste you, it refined you. And now, as I stand in your kitchen, I am also standing over your anxiety, because money anxiety is not only about money, it is often about safety, it is often about control. It is often about the fear of being unable to care for those you love. And I am telling you, you are not alone in this responsibility. You may feel like you are the only one thinking about it, the only one carrying it, the only one praying about it, the only one losing sleep over it. But I am here, I am involved, and I am going to make my presence tangible to you in ways you will recognize, so your faith is not vague, so your peace is not theoretical. So watch, my child, for the testimonies I will send into your week. Watch for the discount that appears at the right time. Watch for the sale that covers what you needed without strain. Watch for the neighbor who offers something they were about to throw away that becomes exactly what you needed. Watch for the timely help someone who says, "I had you on my heart," and then provides in a way that feels like heaven's handwriting. Watch for the creative side solution, an idea that comes while you are washing dishes, a connection that forms while you are running an errand, a skill that suddenly finds a place to serve. Watch for the unexpected refund. Watch for the error corrected in your favor. Watch for the bill that is lower than expected. Watch for the extra shift offered at the right time. Watch for favor in a conversation you thought would be difficult. These are not coincidences. These are the gentle fingerprints of a Father who is close. And I am going to speak to your giving, my beloved, because generosity has been misunderstood by some of you. Some have used it as pressure, and some have avoided it out of fear. But hear me clearly, what you release in generosity will not diminish you. I refill open hands. I do not ask you to give what you do not have to prove you trust me. I ask you to let generosity remain alive in your home so greed cannot move in, so fear cannot make you clutch, so money does not become your master. There is a way to give that is wise, that is led, that is peaceful. And when you give as I lead, sometimes to a person, sometimes to a need, sometimes to my work, what happens in you is as powerful as what happens through you. Because generosity breaks the spirit of scarcity. It tells your home, we are cared for, we are not abandoned, we can bless and still be safe. And I, the Lord your God, know how to replenish what is poured out in love. Some of you have been afraid to open your hand because you think the moment you release, you will lack. But I am showing you that your hand was not made to be a fist. Your home was not made to be a vault. Your table was not made to be guarded by anxiety. It was made to be blessed. And when you practice generosity with wisdom, you will see me refill you in ways that are not always a direct exchange, but are always a direct care. I will stretch your groceries. I will stretch your gas. I will stretch your time. I will stretch your opportunities. I will stretch your strength. I will make a little go further than it should, and you will know it was me, because you will look back and say, that does not make sense. But we were covered. Yes, you were covered. That is what I am establishing over your address. Now I am going to give you another practice, small enough to start today. Before you shop, invite me. Before you click buy, invite me. Before you say yes to a commitment that costs, invite me. Make room for my counsel in the mundane. Say, Lord, is this wise? Say, Lord, show me what I'm not seeing. Say, Lord, give me restraint where I need it and courage where I need it. Because some of you do not only need restraint, you need courage. You have been afraid to apply for the job, afraid to ask for help, afraid to renegotiate, afraid to make the call, afraid to face the debt, afraid to open the mail. My beloved, you are not powerless, and you are not doing it alone. I will sit with you while you make the call. I will steady your breathing while you open the letter. I will put words in your mouth while you speak with a lender, with a landlord, with an employer. I will guide you into humility where humility is needed, and I will guide you into strength where strength is needed. Because I am not only the God of miracles, I am the God of counsel. And hear me with tenderness. If you have made mistakes, I am not shocked. If you have overspent, I am not done with you. If you have debt, I do not turn my face away. If you have been irresponsible, I am not throwing you out. I correct because I love. I guide because I protect. Shame says, hide. I say, come close. Shame says, you ruined everything. I say, let me rebuild. Shame says, it's too late. I say, watch me redeem time. Some of you have been punished enough by consequence. You do not need to punish yourself with hopelessness. Bring it to me. Confess what needs to be confessed. Release what needs to be released. Forgive yourself where you have been trapped, and let me lead you forward. I can restore what was lost. I can heal what was damaged. I can teach you new patterns. And I can bless your home with peace, even while you are still in process. Now, my child, I am going to speak to the spirit of pressure that has been sitting in your kitchen like a constant hum. Pressure that makes you snap. Pressure that makes you withdraw. Pressure that makes your stomach tight. Pressure that makes joy feel irresponsible. I break that pressure now by my presence. I remind you that peace is not a luxury you earn after everything is paid. Peace is your inheritance in me, even while you are learning, even while you are rebuilding, even while you are waiting. So breathe, beloved. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. You are not going to be destroyed by this. You are not going to lose your family to this. Money will not be the god of your home. I am the Lord of your home. And as I teach you to steward, as I teach you to plan, as I teach you to communicate, as I teach you to live within wisdom, I will also send provision that makes no sense to fear, but makes perfect sense to love. I am blessing the work of your hands. I am blessing the decisions you make with me. I am blessing the new discipline you are building without bitterness. I am blessing the conversations that bring unity instead of blame. I am blessing the small changes, making coffee at home, cooking one more meal, canceling one subscription, calling one creditor, saving one small amount, tracking 1 week, honestly, because small faithfulness is not small in my eyes. It is seed, and I am the God who makes seed grow. So I decree over your kitchen, over your pantry, over your refrigerator, over your cabinets, over your table, over the place where meals are made and worries have been rehearsed. This will not be a room of anxiety. This will be a room of provision. This will not be a room where lack preaches louder than faith. This will be a room where gratitude rises and wisdom sits. This will not be a room where you dread tomorrow. This will be a room where you receive daily bread and daily counsel. And as you align your words, your atmosphere, and your practices with my presence, you will feel it: tangible peace, practical guidance, timely help, surprising increase, and restoration where you thought there could only be loss. Now stay with me, my beloved child, because I have covered your conversations, and I have covered your provision, and I am also going to cover your nights. I am going to stand beside your bed. I am going to take the night watch, and the night, where worry has been loud, is about to become a place where rest returns, because I am not only feeding your future, I am guarding your sleep. And now, my beloved child, I am stepping with you into the part of the day you have secretly dreaded, the moment the lights go out and the noise settles, and the body is tired but the mind refuses to lay down, the hour when you finally stop moving, and the worry that you outran all day tries to sit on your chest like it owns the night. Listen to me with your whole heart. The night does not belong to fear. The night does not belong to replay. The night does not belong to that voice that waits until everyone is sleeping to whisper the worst story about tomorrow. I am here. I am present. I am not watching from a distance. I, the Lord your God, stand beside your bed, and I take the night watch over you. I know the exact hour you wake up, my child. I know the way your eyes open without permission, the way your stomach tightens before you even remember what you were thinking about, the way your mind starts building a courtroom of what if, presenting evidence, imagining outcomes, rehearsing conversations, forecasting loss, predicting rejection, preparing for pain that has not happened yet. I know that 3 a.m. voice. It speaks in urgency. It speaks in absolutes. It speaks as if it is prophecy. But it is not my voice. It is fear trying to preach in your darkness, and fear has no permission to preach in a house I am guarding. So I quiet it, I interrupt it, I silence it with my presence, and I replace the worst story with my truth. Because you have been living as if the night is when you must solve everything, when you must carry everyone, when you must figure out how to protect your family by thinking harder, by worrying longer, by reviewing every possible threat until your body is exhausted and your spirit is heavy. But I am telling you, your worry is not your weapon. Your anxiety is not your protection. The safety of your home is not sustained by your sleeplessness. I do not ask you to pay for peace with restlessness. I give you peace because I am good, and I keep watch because I am faithful. You are not alone on that pillow. You are not alone in that room. You are not alone in that hallway. I am nearer than your next breath. So I am giving you something simple, my precious one, because I do not burden you with complicated steps when you are tired. When you lie down, before your mind begins to wander into the old loops, pray this with tenderness and authority, even if it is a whisper, even if your voice is small. Prince of Peace, guard this house. Blanket us with rest. Speak in our dreams. Say it again if you need to. Prince of Peace, guard this house. Blanket us with rest. Speak in our dreams. You are not performing. You are agreeing. You are placing your home under my covering, and you are reminding your own soul that the watch has been taken by me. And as you pray, I want you to train your body to follow your spirit, because some of you have tried to believe with your heart while your nerves are still braced as if danger is imminent. So breathe with me, my child, and attach my name to it. Inhale peace slowly, deeply as you breathe in. Let your heart say, Jesus. Exhale worry fully, gently as you breathe out. Let your heart say, I trust you. Inhale peace, Jesus. Exhale worry, I trust you. Again. Inhale peace, Jesus. Exhale worry, I trust you. You are not just calming your body, you are submitting your atmosphere. You are teaching your home, teaching your nervous system, teaching your thoughts to come into agreement with my presence. And you will feel it, because my peace is not imaginary. My peace settles, my peace blankets. My peace is weighty in the best way, like a warm covering laid over a restless soul. Some of you have been afraid of the night because the night has held memories. Memories that come when the world is quiet. Grief that visits when you are alone. Regrets that rise when you finally stop distracting yourself. Images you did not ask to see again. Words that were spoken over you that still echo when it is dark. And I am telling you, I am not afraid of what comes up in the quiet. I do not abandon you to your memories. I step into that room as healer, not accuser. I step into that darkness as light, not as a distant observer. When you wake and the old pain tries to return, do not panic, do not punish yourself. Turn your face toward me and say, Lord, be here, and I will. I will be there in the quiet, there in the sigh, there in the tear you wipe quickly, there in the prayer you can barely form. I am not offended by your need, I am moved by your trust. And hear me, because I want you to know this with confidence. Your home is not unattended. Heaven keeps shifts through the night. My angels are not a story to make you feel better. They are assignments of my care, sent at my command, standing where you cannot see, watching where you cannot watch, guarding what you cannot guard. There is a covering at your doorposts, and there is also a presence in your hallways, and there is also a watch at your windows, and there is also a peace that patrols the atmosphere of your rooms. You have felt alone, but you are not alone. You have felt exposed, but you are covered. You have felt like you must stay alert to be safe, but I am telling you, I do not slumber. I do not sleep. I do not clock out when you lie down. I remain. So tonight, my beloved, you will not negotiate with dread. You will not partner with the imagination that only pictures disaster. You will not let your mind run toward tomorrow, as if tomorrow is your enemy. Tomorrow is not your enemy. I am already in tomorrow. I am already ahead of what you fear. I am already working in what you cannot yet see. And the reason you can rest is not because life is perfect. The reason you can rest is because I am God, and I am here, and I am faithful, and I have claimed your night as a place of restoration. I am restoring your sleep, yes, but I am also restoring your inner world, because some of you have not been resting even when you were asleep. Your body laid down, but your spirit stayed on guard. Your eyes closed, but your heart stayed braced. My child, come out of that posture. Come out of survival. Let me train you into safety again. Let me teach you that peace is not fragile when it is built on my presence. Let the night become a sanctuary instead of a battleground. Let the bed become a place of recovery instead of rehearsal. Let the dark become quiet again, not because there is nothing to face, but because you are not facing it alone. And when you wake, when morning comes and you step toward the day, I will be the same God at your doorway that I am at your bedside. The peace I give you in the night will not evaporate with sunrise. I will teach you to carry it to the threshold, to speak it at the entrance of your day, to declare it over your coming and going. But first, beloved, receive this. The night belongs to peace, because I keep watch over your rest. So lie down. Let your shoulders drop. Let your hands unclench. Let your breathing slow. Let your mind be still. And if that 3 a.m. voice tries to return, you will answer it with my name, and you will remember, the watch has already been taken. I am beside you. I am over you. I am within your walls, and you will sleep. And when you rise, my child, when your feet find the floor and the day tries to rush you into old habits, I want you to remember what I have already told you. The peace I placed on you in the night is not meant to stay trapped in the bedroom. It is meant to move with you. It is meant to stand with you. It is meant to greet the day before the day greets you. So do not step out of your room like a person bracing for impact. Do not walk into your morning as if you are walking into a fight you must win alone. I am teaching you a holy rhythm, a small act that carries great authority, a simple declaration that trains the atmosphere of your home to agree with heaven. Listen to me with your whole heart, because this is not superstition, and this is not performance. This is alignment. This is agreement. This is you taking the authority I have given you and using it in the most practical place, the threshold, the doorway, the place where coming and going happens, the place where anxiety has often tried to attach itself to you, the place where you have stood with keys in your hand and a weight in your chest, the place where you have hesitated because you did not know what the day would bring, the place where you have returned at night carrying invisible burdens into rooms that were meant to be safe. My child, I am standing at that doorway with you, and I am giving you words that are not empty. They are living, they are weighty, they are guarded by my name. So I want you to speak this, and I want you to speak it with tenderness and with certainty, not shouting to convince me, not striving to prove anything, but declaring because you belong to me and your home belongs to me and fear does not own your address. Place your hand on the doorframe, even gently, even briefly, as a physical reminder of a spiritual reality, and say, "Peace to this house. Fear, you have no permission here. The Lord is our guard." Say it slowly. Let the words land. Peace to this house. Not peace someday. Not peace when everything is fixed. Peace now, because I am here now. Fear, you have no permission here. Not because you are strong in yourself, but because I have not given fear authority over what I cover. The Lord is our guard, not your income, not your vigilance, not your control, not your endless planning. Me, I am your guard. I stand watch. I remain. And I know, my beloved, that some of you have been trained by life to speak the opposite at the threshold. You have spoken dread without meaning to. You have whispered, "It's going to be a hard day," before your day even began. You have said, "Something bad is going to happen," while the sun was still rising. You have rehearsed lack, rehearsed conflict, rehearsed disappointment, rehearsed disaster, not because you wanted to, but because you were trying to prepare yourself for pain. But hear me. Preparing for pain is not the same as being wise, and partnering with fear is not protection, it is permission. I am not condemning you, my child. I am retraining you. I am taking your mouth out of agreement with what torments you, and bringing it back into agreement with what guards you. Because your home has listened to your words more than you realize. Your rooms have held the echoes of your stress, the residue of your arguments, the heaviness of your sighs, the quiet panic you tried to hide from your children, the tension you carried in your shoulders as you unlocked the door at night, the way you walked in and immediately scanned for what might go wrong. I have seen it all. I have seen the days when you came home smiling while your heart was trembling. I have seen the mornings when you stood at the doorway and felt a wave of dread for no clear reason. And I am telling you, in love and with authority, you are not going to keep feeding that atmosphere. You are going to feed peace. You are going to feed trust. You are going to feed my presence with your agreement. Not because you are trying to earn my protection, but because you are learning to live like you believe it is already yours. So this becomes your practice, my child, morning and evening, not just when you feel afraid, not just when a bad dream shakes you, not just when something alarming happens on the news, but as a daily rhythm that teaches your heart and teaches your household what is normal in a house that I visit. In the morning, before you scroll, before you rush, before you pick up the worries that will try to volunteer as your companions, stand at that threshold and declare it. And in the evening, when you return, when the world has tried to attach its noise to you, when stress has tried to cling to your mind, when other people's moods have tried to ride home on your shoulders, stand at that threshold again and declare it. You are not only blessing your home, you are cleansing what you carried. You are not only speaking peace into the rooms, you are speaking peace into yourself as you cross over. And I want you to invite your family into this, yes, because I am not only healing individuals, I am restoring households. Some of you have felt like you are the only one who carries the spiritual weight, the only one who prays, the only one who notices the atmosphere shift, the only one who senses when tension is rising. And I am strengthening you, but I am also gathering your household into unity, one simple sentence at a time. So when you can, gather them gently, not with pressure, not with shame, not with force, but with love. Let it be a moment that feels safe. Let it be a moment that feels like home. And say, "Come here for a second," and put your hand on that doorframe and speak it. And then ask them to echo it, even if their voice is quiet. even if they are not used to speaking words of faith, even if they giggle because it feels unfamiliar. Let them echo it anyway. Let their mouths learn peace. Let their nervous systems learn peace. Let their souls learn that the doorway is not where fear enters. It is where peace is declared. And if you are alone, my precious one, do not think this is not for you. If you live by yourself, if you are a single parent and you feel like you are carrying everything, if you are in a season where the house is quieter than it used to be, if you are missing someone, if you are rebuilding after loss, this is for you. I am with you at that threshold. And when you speak, you are not speaking into emptiness. You are speaking into a spiritual reality. You are speaking into an atmosphere that listens. You are speaking into a home that has an appointment with my presence. And your words, repeated day after day, do something powerful. They set the tone. They draw a line. They establish what is welcome and what is not. Because understand this, my child, atmospheres are trained. They are cultivated. They are not accidental. If you repeatedly speak panic, the house learns panic. If you repeatedly speak accusation, the house learns accusation. If you repeatedly speak hopelessness, the house learns heaviness. But if you repeatedly speak peace, my peace, the house learns to settle. The house learns to breathe. The house learns to recover. The house learns that it is safe to soften. And some of you have not softened in years. Your home has felt like a place you sleep in, not a place you rest in. But I am changing that. I am restoring safety as a familiar sound. I am restoring laughter as a familiar sound. I am restoring gentleness as a familiar sound. And it begins with agreement at the threshold. So when you touch that door frame, do it with intention, not as a ritual to impress me, but as a reminder to your own soul. This house is covered. This home is guarded. This family is watched over. You are marking a boundary in the spirit the same way you lock your door in the natural. You lock your door because you value what is inside, and you speak peace because you value what is inside. You are not leaving the doorway unclaimed. You are not leaving the entrance unaddressed. You are not leaving space for fear to loiter like it belongs. Fear does not belong. Worry does not belong. Chaos does not belong. Accusation does not belong. The spirit of heaviness does not belong. The torment of what if does not belong. And you do not have to argue with it for hours. You do not have to entertain it. You do not have to explain yourself to it. You simply declare the truth and you cross the threshold with me. And when fear tries to return, because it will try, it will test what you have declared. It will knock like an unwanted visitor. It will whisper, that didn't work. It will bring back an old memory. It will present a new headline. It will use an unexpected bill. It will use a tense text message. It will use a child's bad mood. It will use a spouse's silence. It will use a creak in the night when it tries. You will not panic. You will not be impressed. You will not be surprised. You will answer it the same way, because consistency is how atmospheres shift. You will go back to that threshold, even if only in your heart, even if only in a whisper, and you will say it again, peace to this house. Fear, you have no permission here. The Lord is our guard, and what you repeat, you reinforce. What you reinforce, you establish. And what you establish becomes the new normal. My child, I am not asking you to do something complicated. I am asking you to be faithful in the small doorway moments, the moments you usually rush past, the moments you have treated like nothing, the moments that have quietly carried so much weight. Because the threshold is not nothing. It is a meeting place. It is a gate. And I am a God who blesses gates. I am a God who guards entrances. I am a God who watches the coming in and the going out. And as you speak peace there, you are not merely speaking words. You are agreeing with me. You are inviting my rule into your rooms. You are training your household to recognize my presence as familiar. You are teaching your children that peace is not a rare visitor. Peace is family. So begin tomorrow, or begin tonight, my beloved. Do not delay because you think you must feel strong first. You do not speak peace because you feel peaceful. You speak peace because I am faithful. You do not declare protection because you have never been afraid. You declare protection because fear does not get to decide what is true, and I will honor your agreement. I will meet you in that simple practice. I will settle the air in your home. I will quiet what has been loud. I will soften what has been tense. I will guard what you cannot guard. And as you speak, morning and evening, touching that doorframe with faith, you will feel it. your house will begin to exhale, your mind will begin to unclench, your body will begin to believe what your spirit has been trying to tell it. This is a covered home. This is a guarded home. This is a peaceful home. Because I am here, and where I am, fear has no permission to remain. Now, my beloved child, I want you to do something that seems small, but carries weight in the spirit, because I am teaching you that what you agree with publicly, you strengthen privately, and what you write in faith becomes a line in the sand that fear cannot edit. Listen to me with your whole heart. I am not asking you to perform for people. I am not asking you to announce your life to strangers. I am asking you to plant a stake, to make a declaration that your own soul can return to, and that others can stand beside, because there is power when my children agree together, when peace is not only whispered in a hallway but spoken where witnesses can say, Amen, let it be so. So I want you to write it. Yes, write it, my child. Type it as a declaration, like you are marking the doorframe of your life with words that carry my name. Type this exactly, and do it with tenderness and authority. My house is under God's protection. Fear has no permission here. Do not change it into a question. Do not soften it into uncertainty. Do not add, I hope. Do not add, maybe. Write it as agreement. My house is under God's protection. Fear has no permission here. Because when you put it into the open, you are not exposing yourself. You are aligning yourself. You are saying, this is the banner over my home. You are reminding your own heart that you do not live under dread. You do not live under threat. You do not live under torment. You live under my covering. And I know what fear will try to whisper as you reach for that comment, as you consider writing it. It will say, what if nothing changes? It will say, what if you look foolish? It will say, what if you've said words before and still struggled? But hear me, my precious one, this is not about instant perfection. This is about rightful permission. Fear has stayed so long in some of your rooms that it has begun to act like it belongs there, like it has a lease, like it has a key, like it has history that gives it authority. But I am the Lord of your home, and I am the Lord of your name, and I am the Lord of your future. And I am telling you that fear does not get to keep claiming what I have covered. When you write, fear has no permission here, you are not arguing with a feeling, you are establishing a boundary. You are training your atmosphere. You are telling your household, seen and unseen, this home answers to God. And as you type that declaration, I want you to let it become more than letters on a screen. Let it be worship. Let it be surrender. Let it be a turning of the key in the lock of your heart. Because some of you have been carrying the burden of protecting everyone, and you have been exhausted by it, and you have been silent about it, because you didn't want to scare anyone, and you didn't want to admit how heavy it has been. My child, I saw you. I saw you scanning the night. I saw you checking the doors twice. I saw you listening for sounds. I saw you watching the bank account. I saw you reading messages with your stomach tight. I saw you trying to keep peace in the home by absorbing everyone's moods. And I have come to relieve you. So when you write this, let your shoulders drop again. Let your breath slow again. Let your spirit come out of that posture of bracing. I am your guard. And now, my beloved, if you desire prayer, if you want agreement, if you want others to cover your household without exposing what is sacred, I am giving you a simple way. In the comments, you may list first names. Only first names. My child, not the whole story, not the whole address, not the details fear could use to make you feel vulnerable, just first names. Your name, your children's names, a spouse's name, a parent's name. Or you may write your street name or your city, no full addresses, so we can lift your home before me with wisdom and with care. Because I am building a wall of prayer around you, and sometimes the enemy has tried to isolate you by convincing you that your battle is private and your fear is unique, and your home is the only home that feels this way. But you are not alone. You are part of a family of faith. And when you place a name in the comments, it becomes like placing it in my hands and saying, Lord, cover us, and I will. And I want you to do something else, my child, because protection is not meant to stop with you. If you know someone whose home has been under strain, someone whose nights have been loud with anxiety, someone who has been fighting tension behind closed doors, someone who has been rebuilding after loss, someone who is moving, someone who is overwhelmed, someone who feels unsafe, someone who has been carrying too much, share this with them, and when you share it, do not do it casually. Do it as a mission of love. Do it and whisper their name to me. Say, Lord, let your light travel to their address. Because I will. I will move, home to home, family to family, room to room. I will let peace travel down hallways you have never walked. I will let my presence settle in living rooms you have never seen. I will let comfort sit at tables where grief has been eating for too long. Light can travel, my child. Hope can travel. And I am sending you as a carrier of peace, not with pressure, but with compassion. And hear me, because I am also calling you to return. When peace shows up this week, yes, when it shows up, because I am already moving, come back and testify, not to boast, but to build someone else's faith. When the house feels lighter, when the arguing softens, when you sleep through the night, when your child's fear eases, when an unexpected provision arrives, when the dread that used to sit at the doorway is gone, when you walk into your home and you realize you're breathing deeper than you have in months, come back and write it, even if it seems small, even if it seems ordinary, even if it is simply, I felt peace, write it, because your testimony becomes a candle for another person's hallway. Your report becomes permission for someone else to believe. Your he did it for me becomes a doorway for someone else's. He can do it for me too. So now, my cherished child, do not overthink this. Do not delay this. Do it like an act of faith that is gentle but firm. Type it. My house is under God's protection. Fear has no permission here. And if you need prayer, place first names, or your street or city. No full addresses, and let others agree with you. And if someone comes to your mind, share this, and let light travel to their home. And when peace visits you, when the atmosphere shifts, when the weight breaks, come back and testify, so another home can be strengthened by your story. Because I am not only guarding your private rooms, my child, I am building a community of agreement around your life. I am gathering voices to say, yes, Lord, cover that home. I am surrounding your doorframe with Amen. I am teaching you that you do not fight fear alone, and you do not stand watch alone, and you do not carry the burden alone. Write the promise where others can add their agreement, and watch how what was private becomes reinforced, how what was fragile becomes steady, how what was tense becomes tender again. Because my peace is not a visitor, it is a rule, and where I rule, fear has no permission to remain. Now, my beloved child, you have written the promise, and you have not written it into emptiness. You have planted it like a stake in the ground. You have marked the doorframe of your life with agreement. And now, I am taking you deeper, not into complexity, not into performance, not into anything that will exhaust you, but into a holy simplicity that carries weight in heaven. I am going to walk your home with you, and I am going to bless it room by room, breath by breath, doorway by doorway, until even the corners that have held tension learn what it feels like to hold peace. Listen to me. Do not rush. Do not treat this like a quick prayer you must finish. Let this be slow. Let this be tender. Let this be firm. Because I am not asking you to imagine something. I am not asking you to pretend you are safe. I am announcing safety, and I am teaching you how to partner with what I am announcing. So if you can, stand up. If you can, walk. And if you cannot walk, if your body is tired, if you are listening from a bed, if you are at work, if you are in a place where you must be quiet, then do it in your heart, do it in your mind, do it in a whisper, because my authority does not require volume, it requires agreement, and I will honor agreement. Take a breath, my child, slowly, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let your shoulders soften, let your jaw unclench, let your hands relax. You have been bracing for so long that your body learned fear as a posture, and I am retraining you. I am not only calming the atmosphere, I am calming you within it, because I did not design you to live as if danger is always near. I designed you to live as if I am always near, and I am. Now begin where you are. If you are near the entryway, if you are near a door, if you are near a window, if you are near a threshold, place your hand there, even if it is only for a moment, and hear me as I speak over every opening. I seal this home by my presence. I seal this home by my promise. I seal this home by my name, and I say to every doorway, to every window, to every crack of fear, to every place anxiety tried to slip in, to every access point where the enemy tried to whisper, to every entrance that has carried bad news, To every threshold that has carried exhaustion back inside, be covered now, be guarded now, be claimed now. And I am not speaking to your wood and your glass as if they are gods, my child. I am speaking to your atmosphere. I am speaking to what has been lingering. I am speaking to the unseen pressure that has tried to make your home feel unsafe even when the doors were locked. And I declare this with authority and tenderness. Only what serves peace and purpose may enter. Only what aligns with my will may cross this boundary. Only what is sent by me, only what is good, only what is clean, only what is holy, only what strengthens love may remain. Every other spirit that has been loitering, every other voice that has been pressing, every other weight that has been hanging in the air, now you must move, you must go. And I want you to say it with me, my beloved, because your mouth has authority in your home. Say it quietly or say it boldly, but say it. Fear, you have no permission here. Confusion, you have no permission here. Strife, you have no permission here. Accusation, you have no permission here. Torment, you have no permission here. The spirit of heaviness, you have no permission here. The endless what if, you have no permission here. The replaying of old arguments, you have no permission here. The cold silence that punishes, you have no permission here. The tension that makes people walk on eggshells, you have no permission here. The dread that sits at the doorway, you have no permission here. Because this house is under my protection, and what I cover, you cannot claim. And now, my child, as you renounce what must leave, I am not leaving your rooms empty. I am not creating a vacuum. I am filling what has been cleared with what heals. I am filling what has been dry with what refreshes. I am filling what has been loud with what calms. So say it with me again, and let your heart mean it. Holy peace, settle here. Joy, take up residence. Love, be the loudest voice. Gentleness, govern our tone. Patience, slow our reactions. Kindness, be the reflex. Wisdom, be the guide. And let my presence be the anchor in every room. Now step into the living room, my beloved, or picture it if you cannot move. The place where people gather. The place where you have tried to relax but could not. The place where laughter used to come easily, and then life happened. And then money happened, and then conflict happened, and then grief happened, and then the news kept coming, and you felt your home becoming a place of surviving instead of living. I have seen it. I have seen you sitting there with your phone in your hand, scrolling not because you were entertained, but because you were numb. I have seen you staring at a wall while everyone else talked, feeling far away even in your own house. I have seen the forced conversations, the careful words, the guarded moods. And I am not here to shame you. I am here to heal you. So I bless this living room now. I bless the air over the couch. I bless the corners where silence has collected. I bless the table where people set their burdens without knowing they are doing it. I bless the floor where your children have played, where they have also cried, where they have also thrown tantrums because they didn't know how to say, I am scared. And I declare, I bless conversations with kindness and laughter that heals. I bless words that build and do not break. I bless listening that does not interrupt to defend itself. I bless apologies that are sincere and simple. I bless reconciliation that does not keep score. I bless humor that returns without cruelty. I bless warmth that returns without fear of being disappointed again. And where there has been a pattern of harshness, I break it. Where there has been a pattern of sarcasm that hides pain, I heal it. Where there has been a pattern of shutting down, I soften it. Where there has been a pattern of arguing over small things because the real wounds felt too big to touch, I bring gentleness into the real wounds. My child, I am not afraid of what is under the surface. I am not intimidated by the history in your walls. I am not turned away by the mess of your emotions. I am the God who restores, and I am restoring the language of your home. I am teaching you how to speak to each other again without fear. I am teaching you how to be together again without bracing. I am teaching your household that love is safe. And now, my beloved, walk toward the kitchen. Yes, the kitchen, the place where so much pressure has sat. The place where you have wondered, will it be enough? The place where you have done math in your head while stirring a pot. The place where you have opened the fridge and felt anxiety rise, not because you were ungrateful, but because you were tired. I saw the nights when you tried to make something out of very little. I saw the mornings when you skipped your own meal so someone else could eat. I saw the way you tried to stretch what should not stretch. I saw the way you smiled and said, "We're fine," while your stomach tightened. My child, I saw it, and I am not silent about it. So I bless this kitchen now. I bless your hands. I bless your planning. I bless your grocery lists. I bless the meals you make. I bless the meals you order when you are exhausted. I bless the simple snacks. I bless the water you drink. I bless the table where you eat. And I declare over your kitchen and pantry, I bless provision, wisdom, and satisfaction without anxiety. Not the kind of provision that arrives and immediately gets swallowed by fear. Not the kind of help that still leaves you feeling unsafe, but provision that brings breath back into your chest. Provision that brings steadiness to your mind. Provision that teaches your heart to trust again. I bless the pantry, my child. Even if it feels bare, I bless it. Even if it feels like it never stays full, I bless it. I bless what you have, and I bless what is coming. I bless the cupboards. I bless the refrigerator. I bless the shelf where you keep what you are trying to ration. And I say, lack will not be your teacher. Anxiety will not be your manager. Panic will not be your advisor. I will guide you in wisdom. I will show you what to do. I will show you where to save, where to spend, where to simplify, where to ask for help without shame, where to receive without guilt. Because I do not only care about your soul, my beloved, I care about your daily bread, and I am feeding your future in ways you cannot yet see. And now, my child, go down the hallway. Yes, the hallway, the in-between place. The place that often holds shadows at night, the place where small feet have run, the place where you have walked with your mind full, carrying laundry, carrying worry, carrying responsibilities, carrying grief, carrying what you did not know how to put down. I bless this hallway. I bless the passage between rooms. I bless transitions in this home. I bless coming and going. I bless the moments between arguments and peace. I bless the moments between exhaustion and rest. I bless the moments between fear and faith, and I declare, this house will not be a house of tension in transition. It will be a house where peace follows you from room to room like a gentle escort. Now, my beloved, step into the bedrooms, and as you do, I want you to understand that bedrooms hold more than sleep. They hold memories, they hold whispers, they hold secrets, they hold tears that never made a sound. They hold the place where you finally let your face fall when no one was watching. They hold the place where you scrolled through painful messages. They hold the place where you stared at the ceiling and thought, what if this never gets better? They hold the place where you woke up afraid for no reason you could name. They hold the place where you felt alone even next to someone. I know, my child, and I am not entering this room as an accuser. I am entering as a healer and a protector. So I bless every bedroom now. I bless your bed. I bless your pillow. I bless your blankets. I bless the place where your body tries to recover from the day, and I speak what you have been craving. I bless deep rest. I bless protection of dreams. I bless the mending of memories. I bless sleep that is not interrupted by panic. I bless nights that are not owned by overthinking. I bless your nervous system to settle. I bless your breathing to slow. I bless your heart to stop racing. I bless your mind to stop rehearsing worst-case scenarios. And I declare, the night belongs to me. The darkness will not scare you. The silence will not torment you. The creak will not control you. The nightmare will not rule you. I stand watch beside your bed. And to the one who has been waking up at the same hour again and again, carrying that strange pressure, I am speaking to you. You are not being hunted. You are being held. You are not abandoned in the night. You are being guarded in the night. And I am teaching you that when you wake, you do not have to spiral. You can whisper my name and let it be enough. I am near. I am close. I am attentive. And I am releasing rest like a river into your room. Now, my child, if there is a crib, if there is a child's bed, if there is a room that holds little clothes and small blankets and toys on the floor, come near it in your heart, because I am tender with what is tender. I have counted the nights you stood in the doorway listening to your child breathe. I have counted the times you checked on them because fear told you something could happen. I have counted the nights you lay awake because they had a cough, because they had a fever, because they had a bad dream, because they cried and you didn't know what to do. I have counted your prayers that were not polished, only desperate, and I have loved you through every one. So I bless the cribs and the beds of your children. I bless their sleep. I bless their dreams. I bless their bodies. I bless their minds. I bless their hearts. I bless the formation of their identity. I bless them with safety they can feel. I bless them with a sense of calm that makes them brave. I bless them with joy that is not fragile. I bless them with innocence protected, with confidence restored, with courage awakened. And I declare over them, fear will not attach itself to you. Night terrors will not claim you. Anxiety will not become your personality. You will not inherit panic as a family tradition. You will inherit peace. You will inherit stability. You will inherit the knowledge that you are kept. And if there has been a season, my child, where your children have been more irritable, more withdrawn, more afraid, more clingy, hear me. I am not condemning them. I am not condemning you. I am telling you that atmospheres speak, and children listen with their whole bodies, and I am healing the atmosphere. I am quieting what they could feel but could not explain. I am soothing what their little hearts have been carrying without language. My peace is settling low in this room, like a blanket, like a soft light, like a calm presence at the edge of the bed, and they will feel it. They will feel it even if they cannot name it. They will feel safe again. Now, my beloved, step into the room where you work, the desk, the corner, the dining table that became an office, the place where bills have been opened, the place where deadlines have sat like a weight, the place where you have tried to focus while your mind scattered, the place where you have doubted yourself, where you have wondered if you are falling behind, where you have feared you are not enough, where you have carried the pressure of providing, the pressure of performing, the pressure of proving you deserve what you have. I see it, and I do not mock your burden, I lift it. So I bless your workspace now. I bless your mind with clarity. I bless your hands with skill. I bless your schedule with order. I bless your time with redemption. I bless your emails, your meetings, your calls, your clients, your ideas, your study, your applications, your interviews. And I declare, I bless creativity, focus, and doors of favor without compromise. Favor that does not require you to betray your peace. Favor that does not require you to shrink your integrity. Favor that does not demand you become someone you are not. I will open doors that fit you. I will bring opportunities that align with your calling. I will connect you with people who recognize the gift I placed in you. I will teach you to work from rest, not from panic. And where procrastination has been fueled by fear, I heal the fear. Where distraction has been fueled by overwhelm, I bring order. Where comparison has been stealing your confidence, I restore your identity. Because you are not behind, you are being led. You are not forgotten, you are being prepared. You are not disqualified, you are being refined. And I will bring you into a rhythm where your work does not devour your home, and your home does not suffocate your calling, but both become aligned under my peace. Now, my child, go to the bathroom, yes, even there, because I am not a God who only visits the spiritual rooms. I am Lord over the ordinary. I bless the place where you wash your face after crying. I bless the mirror where you have looked at yourself with harshness. I bless the sink where you have leaned with exhaustion. I bless the shower where you finally exhaled. And I speak gently, stop speaking death over yourself in that mirror. Stop agreeing with every cruel thought. Stop calling yourself what pain called you. You are mine. You are loved. You are not too much. You are not a burden. You are not failing. You are learning to live under my covering. And I bless you with dignity in the private places, with kindness toward yourself, with the ability to breathe again and see yourself through my eyes. Now, my beloved, return again in your mind to the entryways and windows, because I am sealing what must be sealed, and I am establishing what must be established. I speak again over every opening. Be guarded, be protected, be watched. Let no intruder of fear cross this threshold. Let no lingering spirit of oppression find comfort here. Let no assignment of chaos settle. Let no pattern of strife remain. And I do not say this as poetry, my child. I say this as authority, because I, the Lord your God, keep watch over your coming in and your going out. I station my peace like a sentry. I station my angels like a wall. I station my presence like a fire around you and a glory within you, and your home will know what it means to be covered. And now I want you to pause, because there are some things that have been hiding, not because I could not see them, but because you were too tired to face them. There are pains in your home that are not just financial. There are tensions that are not just schedules. There are wounds that are not just misunderstandings. There are words that were spoken that never got healed. There are moments that happened behind closed doors that left marks on hearts. There are seasons of grief that were never fully processed because life demanded you keep moving. I know, my child, and I am here, not to expose you to shame, but to expose you to healing. So in this prayer walk, I am also blessing what cannot be seen. I bless the emotional foundation of this home. I bless the relational foundation of this home. I bless the spiritual foundation of this home. And I declare, where trust has been broken, I rebuild it. Where safety has been lost, I restore it. Where forgiveness has felt impossible, I make it possible. Where communication has been strained, I soften it. Where people have lived like roommates instead of family, I bring hearts back together. Where you have felt lonely in a full house, I bring companionship. Where you have felt like you must carry everything, I bring help. Where you have been ashamed to admit you need support, I bring humility without humiliation. I am repairing what has been frayed. Now, my child, let the renunciation become clear again, because some things do not leave unless they are commanded to leave. And I am giving you authority, not to be dramatic, but to be free. So say it again with me, and feel the line being drawn. Fear, confusion, and strife. You have no permission in this house. Not in the mornings, not in the afternoons, not in the evenings, not in the holidays, not in the hard conversations, not in the finances, not in the bedrooms, not in the children's rooms, not in the marriage, not in the single-parent load, not in the quiet moments, not in the night. You have no permission. And if there has been a specific spirit that has tried to camp constant arguing, constant criticism, constant suspicion, constant sadness, constant heaviness, constant noise that keeps you from hearing your own thoughts, I am naming it with you now, because naming breaks intimidation. That thing that has been trying to become normal in your home is not normal. It is not your identity. It is not your inheritance. It is not your portion. And I declare, it breaks now, it loosens now, it leaves now, because I am establishing my order. Now, my beloved, I am going to fill what has been cleared, and I want you to receive it like warm light, like clean air, like a fresh wind through a room that has been closed too long. Holy peace, settle here, not as a visitor, but as a resident. Joy, take up residence, not as a moment, but as a way of being. Love, be the loudest voice, not just in affection, but in tone, in patience, in forgiveness, in how you speak when you are tired. Let love be louder than irritation. Let love be louder than blame. Let love be louder than the memory of how it used to be. I fill this home with my presence, my child. I fill it with my comfort. I fill it with my counsel. I fill it with my protection. I fill it with wisdom for decisions. I fill it with tenderness for each other. I fill it with restraint when anger rises. I fill it with courage when hard conversations must happen. I fill it with hope when you feel discouraged. I fill it with laughter that heals. I fill it with songs again. I fill it with the sound of peace. The kind of peace that is not dependent on everything being perfect, but dependent on me being present. And now, I bless the rooms you avoid. Yes, even those. The spare room that holds boxes, the closet that holds clutter, the corner that became a dumping ground, the garage that feels chaotic. The place you have not touched because you did not have energy, because every time you look at it you feel behind, because it represents something unfinished. My child, I do not shame you for unfinished things. I do not measure your worth by your organization. But I will give you grace to bring order where you have felt stuck, because clutter can become a constant whisper of failure, and I am silencing that whisper. I bless you with strength to take one step, one bag, one drawer, one shelf, one small act at a time, and I bless the process with peace. I bless it with no condemnation. I bless it with progress that feels gentle, because I am restoring not only rooms, but the way you feel inside your own home. And I bless the sounds of your home, my child. I bless the volume. I bless the silence. I bless the music. I bless the conversations. I bless the footsteps. I bless the way your home will sound when peace is in charge. It will not sound like constant tension. It will not sound like snapping. It will not sound like doors slammed and words thrown. It will sound like steadiness. It will sound like patience. It will sound like children who feel safe enough to play. It will sound like adults who feel safe enough to soften. It will sound like laughter that returns without fear of being interrupted by the next disaster. It will sound like quiet that is restful, not heavy. And now, my beloved, I bless the very air. I cleanse what has been lingering. I lift what has been pressing. I remove what has been clinging. I command heaviness to go. I command oppression to go. I command anxiety to loosen. I command confusion to lift. I command strife to break. And I release clarity, peace, and order. I release gentleness and joy. I release a spirit of prayer that feels natural again, not forced. I release worship that rises easily. I release gratitude that returns without denial. I release the ability to enjoy small moments again, because you have been so survival-minded that you forgot you are allowed to live. Now let me bless your family by name in your heart, my child. Whisper their names to me. The ones who live there, the ones who visit, the ones you worry about, the ones who are far away, the one you cannot control, the one who is angry, the one who is withdrawn, the one who is struggling, the one who is sensitive, the one who is carrying depression, the one who is carrying anxiety, the one who is carrying secrets. Whisper their name, because I know them better than you do, and I love them more purely than you can. And I am moving in ways you cannot see. I am softening what has been hardened. I am healing what has been wounded. I am guiding what has been confused. I am protecting what has been vulnerable. And if there is someone missing from this home, my child, someone whose absence has left a quiet ache, someone you lost, someone who moved away, someone you separated from, someone whose room is now emptier than it used to be, hear me. I am gentle with your grief. I do not rush it. I do not dismiss it. I do not tell you to get over it. I come near. I sit with you. I hold you. And I bless that room too, not with denial, but with comfort. I bless it with memories that no longer stab, but slowly become sacred. I bless it with the ability to breathe without guilt. I bless it with hope that does not betray what you loved. I bless it with the knowledge that I am the God who restores what loss tried to steal, and I can give you beauty again without erasing the past. Now, my beloved, I want you to hear the key truth, like a seal placed on everything we have done in this prayer walk. This entire home is blessed, guarded, and filled with my presence, not in theory, not in a distant way, not as religious language, but as a living reality that begins to show itself in tangible ways. You will feel it in the way you breathe when you walk through the door. You will feel it in the way arguments de-escalate faster. You will feel it in the way you sleep deeper. You will feel it in the way your children settle. You will feel it in the way your mind stops racing the moment you step inside. You will feel it in the way your home becomes a refuge again, not a battlefield. So I seal this house now, my child. I seal your rooms with peace. I seal your doorposts with protection. I seal your beds with rest. I seal your kitchen with provision. I seal your living room with kindness and laughter that heals. I seal your workspace with favor and focus without compromise. I seal your children's rooms with safety and calm. I seal every opening, only what serves peace and purpose may enter. And I establish a new rule in this home. My presence is welcome here. My peace is normal here. My love is loud here. And when you finish this prayer walk, do not think it ends when you stop walking. It continues, because you have agreed with me. And agreement changes atmospheres. Agreement retrains habits. Agreement reforms what has been forming you. So keep the rhythm. Keep speaking peace. Keep blessing what you touch. Keep renouncing what tries to return. Keep inviting joy to stay. And when you feel the shift, when you notice the air feels cleaner, when you realize you are not bracing the same way, when you catch yourself smiling for no urgent reason, remember, this is not random. This is the fruit of my presence. This is the evidence of my covering. This is what happens when I personally visit and protect your home, and fear is told the truth. Fear has no permission here. Now listen to me, my beloved, because you have arrived at a sacred crossing point, and I will not let you misread what is happening simply because it does not announce itself with noise. The hour of constant strain is closing. The hour of bracing, the hour of always expecting the next phone call, the next argument, the next bill, the next disruption, the next wave of heaviness that tries to settle into your rooms like a fog. This hour is losing its authority over you. I am not saying you will never face a hard moment again, but I am telling you the rule is changing, the climate is changing, the atmosphere is changing. The story inside your walls is turning from battle to belonging. Do not rush past that word, my child, belonging, because some of you have lived in your own home like you were only surviving in it. You cooked there, you slept there, you paid for it, you cleaned it, you held everything together in it, but deep inside you never fully felt safe there. Not because the paint was wrong, not because the furniture was missing, but because peace felt like a visitor and not a resident. And I have come to change that. I have come to take what felt temporary and make it established. I have come to take what felt unstable and make it settled. I have come to take what felt like a place you endured and make it a place you inhabit with ease, with laughter, with rest, with quiet confidence. And I am telling you this now, not to create pressure, but to give you perspective. Because when a shift begins, the enemy tries to whisper, nothing is changing, simply because you still remember what it used to feel like. The memory of strain can linger even when the strain is leaving. The body can still flinch even when the threat is gone. The mind can still race even when the door is locked and I am standing guard. So I speak to you as a father who knows your patterns and knows your pain. And I say, do not confuse the echo with the reality. Do not mistake yesterday's noise for today's atmosphere. I am doing something new inside your home, and it is already beginning to show. Watch for the early signs, my beloved, because I do not always begin with a thunderclap. Many times I begin with a gentleness that you almost overlook. You will notice it in the way hard conversations soften without you forcing them. You will notice it in the way your tone stays calmer, even when the topic is difficult. You will notice it in the way you pause before reacting, and the pause itself becomes a doorway for wisdom. You will notice it in the way an argument that used to escalate for hours now loses fuel in minutes, because I am draining the power of what once fed division. And you will think, why did that not turn into what it always turns into? And I will whisper, because peace is taking ground. You will notice it in your children, my child. Some of you have been carrying worry like a second blanket, listening for footsteps at night, checking the monitor, checking the door, checking the hallway, checking the silence because silence made you nervous. But I am bringing a different kind of quiet, not the quiet of tension, but the quiet of safety. And you will see it when your children sleep through the night more often. You will see it when they stop waking up with fear on their faces. You will see it when their shoulders drop, when their laughter returns without being coaxed, when their emotions become less volatile because the atmosphere that was pressing on them is being lifted. You will see it when they begin to talk to you again, when their words come easier, when the wall between you starts to thin, not because you suddenly became perfect, but because I am healing what you could not reach on your own. You will notice it in the timing of help, my beloved. I will send unexpected provision in ordinary packages. I will send a phone call that arrives at the right moment. I will send a person with the exact information you needed. I will send a solution that you did not know existed. I will send a cancellation that is actually protection. I will send an opening that looks small at first, but it is the seed of a larger shift. You will look up and realize you are not carrying it alone in the same way anymore. The load is being redistributed by my hand. The burden is being lightened by my mercy. The deadlines that used to crush you will begin to meet you with grace, not because time has changed, but because I am giving you favor, focus, and the right assistance at the right hour. And I want you to understand this, my child. These are not coincidences. These are not random improvements. These are not just good weeks. These are signs that the war inside your walls is losing territory. These are signals that my presence is not only something you felt in a moment of prayer, but something that is taking shape as a lifestyle, as an atmosphere, as a pattern of peace that begins to repeat itself. When you start noticing peace repeating, you are watching me establish what I have promised. When you start seeing calm return after disruption, you are witnessing a new normal being formed. When you start catching yourself breathing again, that is not you finally getting over it. That is my spirit reminding your nervous system that it does not have to live on high alert forever. But hear me closely, because this is where many of my children stumble, right at the doorway of change. Do not measure your progress by one bad day. Do not measure your progress by one tense conversation, one unexpected expense, one moody morning, one night when sleep fought you again. Do not let a single moment convince you that nothing has shifted, because the enemy loves to take one hard day and make it sound like a verdict. He loves to take one setback and make it feel like a return to the old season. He loves to take one emotional wave and convince you the ocean has swallowed you again. But I am the Lord your God, and I am teaching you how to measure rightly. Measure by direction, my beloved. Measure by the way peace is increasing, even if slowly. Measure by the way recovery is faster. Measure by the way you apologize sooner. Measure by the way forgiveness comes quicker. Measure by the way the heaviness does not linger as long as it used to. Measure by the way laughter returns after tears. Measure by the way you can feel stress and still remain anchored. Measure by the way you can face a problem and not lose yourself to it. Because this is how healing looks in real homes, in real families, in real lives. It is not a straight line, but it is a clear direction. And the direction I have set for you is toward peace. I know you, my child. I know how you think. I know how quickly your heart tries to interpret. I know how you replay conversations. I know how you catastrophize one moment and let it speak louder than the last 10 moments of grace. I know how you can have 3 calm days, and then one hard day arrives and you say, "See, it's back." But I am telling you, do not hand your authority to a single moment. Do not crown a bad day as king over your household. A bad day is not your identity. A hard moment is not your prophecy. A disagreement is not your destiny. You are not returning to the old chaos. You are learning to live in the new covering. And because I love you, I am going to train you in what to do when that one bad day shows up, because it will try to test the boundaries of what I have established. When you feel the atmosphere tighten, do not panic. Do not rush into fear as if fear is wisdom. Pause, breathe, speak, return to agreement. Say, "Peace, be still," not as a religious phrase, but as a command aligned with my authority. Say, "This house belongs to the Lord." Say, "Fear has no permission here." Say, "We do not partner with panic." Say, "We do not speak death over this family." Say, "We do not rehearse worst-case scenarios as if they are truth." And then watch what happens when your mouth refuses to be a doorway for darkness. Because, my beloved, your mouth will maintain what my hand has begun. Do not treat your declarations like decoration. Do not treat your words like they are powerless. I gave you speech not only to communicate, but to cultivate. Life and death are not just dramatic concepts. They are daily seeds. And some of you have been sowing fear without realizing it, watering anxiety with repeated phrases, feeding tension with sarcasm, partnering with heaviness through constant complaint, and then wondering why the air felt thick. But I am not accusing you. I am training you. I am not condemning you. I am equipping you. I am teaching you how to keep what I have given. So keep your declarations, my child, not for a week, not until you feel better, but as a covenant rhythm. Keep speaking peace at the threshold. Keep blessing your children by name. Keep calling your spouse, your family, your household into honor and kindness. Keep praying over the rooms when no one sees. Keep renouncing what tries to return. Keep worship in your mouth, even if it is soft, even if it is simple, even if it is just a whispered, "Thank you." Because your home is not only built by what you buy and what you fix, it is also built by what you say, what you allow, what you entertain, what you agree with, and what you refuse. And I am telling you plainly, some of you are about to be tempted to stop doing what worked simply because the pressure decreased. You will feel better, and you will drift. You will notice calm, and you will relax your guarding. You will experience provision, and you will stop praying. You will experience restoration, and you will stop speaking gently. But I say to you, my beloved, do not abandon the practices that carried you into peace. Do not stop honoring the shift just because the storm quieted. When the rain stops, you do not remove the roof. When the threat fades, you do not throw away the shield. You keep what protected you, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. You keep what built the atmosphere, not out of superstition, but out of love for the home I am healing. There are some of you listening, and your heart is asking, but when will it feel permanent? When will I stop looking over my shoulder? When will I stop waiting for the other shoe to drop? And I say, you will notice permanence, not when you never face a hard moment, but when hard moments no longer steal your belonging. You will notice permanence when you can walk through your hallway without bracing. You will notice permanence when you can sit in your living room and simply be, without scanning, without anticipating, without rehearsing. You will notice permanence when you realize you are planning again, dreaming again, inviting people over again, opening the curtains again, buying groceries with hope again, laughing in the kitchen again. These are the signs that your home is becoming a dwelling place of peace and not a temporary shelter. And yes, my child, I am also speaking to the one who feels the ache of years. You have been fighting for so long that peace feels unfamiliar, almost suspicious. You have been strong for so long that rest feels like weakness. You have held everything together for so long that letting go feels dangerous. But I am the one who carried you when you could not carry yourself. I am the one who kept your mind from breaking when you thought it would. I am the one who sustained your marriage, sustained your children, sustained your faith when it was just a thread. I saw the nights when you cried in the bathroom so they would not hear you. I saw the mornings when you put on a steady voice while your heart was trembling. I saw the moments you whispered prayers that were more like gasps than sentences. And I did not despise you. I collected every tear, I counted every sigh. And I tell you now, you are not going to survive forever. You are going to belong. You are going to live. You are going to rest. You are going to experience a home that feels like refuge again. So let this be your reassurance. The shift is not imaginary. The shift is not wishful thinking. The shift is not you trying harder. The shift is the fruit of my visitation, the effect of my covering, the evidence of your agreement with my peace. Heaven is not watching your house from a distance. Heaven is involved. Angels are assigned. Wisdom is being released. Strategies are forming. Conversations are being softened before they even happen. Doors are being guarded that you did not even know were vulnerable. And I am teaching you to live as if that is true, because it is. And I want to speak to the part of you that still feels like a stranger in your own life. Some of you have lived so long in survival that you forgot what you liked. You forgot how to enjoy your own home. You forgot how to sit down without guilt. You forgot how to celebrate small joys because you were always preparing for the next emergency. But this is the season where I return you to yourself, not the anxious self, not the hardened self, not the hypervigilant self, but the healed self that can receive good without flinching, the restored self that can be loved without suspicion, the peaceful self that can sleep without negotiating with fear. And as I do this, you will feel like you are learning your own house again, learning your own family again, learning your own laughter again. This is not loss, this is restoration. So I say again, my beloved, do not measure by one bad day. Measure by the direction. Measure by the increase of peace. Measure by the way the air feels cleaner. Measure by the way your thoughts are less violent toward yourself. Measure by the way you stop speaking harshly to your own soul. Measure by the way your home begins to anticipate joy again. These are the markers of my work. These are the fingerprints of my presence. And because I am a good father, I will also tell you what to do right now at this crossing point so you do not wobble between seasons. Choose your next step in peace, not in panic, not in revenge, not in control, not in fear. When you respond in peace, you stay in step with me. When you respond in peace, you keep the door open for my wisdom. When you respond in peace, you model safety for your children. When you respond in peace, you stop feeding the atmosphere that once oppressed you. Peace is not passivity, my child. Peace is authority without chaos. Peace is strength without violence. Peace is power under my hand. And I am teaching you to walk with that kind of peace, so your home does not only feel better, it becomes better. Some of you will feel this shift in practical ways quickly. You will see a bill resolved. You will see a repair finally handled. You will receive the job call. You will receive the right tenant, the right client, the right schedule, the right opportunity. Some of you will feel it relationally first. You will sense warmth returning. You will sense trust rebuilding. You will sense forgiveness becoming possible. Some of you will feel it internally first. Your anxiety will lessen. Your chest will unclench. Your thoughts will slow down. And you will wonder, why do I feel lighter? And I will say, because I am lifting what you were never meant to carry alone. So do not rush me. Do not compare your timeline to someone else's testimony. Do not demand that I prove myself in the exact way you imagined. I am faithful, and I am precise, and I am personal. The shift is tailored to your household. The healing is tailored to your history. The restoration is tailored to what has been harmed and what must be rebuilt. But make no mistake, it is happening. Even now, it is happening. Even while you listen, it is happening. Even while you breathe, it is happening. Heaven has leaned low over your address, and I am not leaving you in the same condition I found you. And now I charge you, my beloved, with the same tenderness and authority that sealed your rooms. Keep your declarations. Keep them when you feel strong, and keep them when you feel tired. Keep them when the house is quiet, and keep them when the house is loud. Keep them when everyone agrees, and keep them when you are the only one speaking peace into the air, because your mouth will maintain what my hand has begun. Your words will guard the gates. Your praise will keep the ceiling open. Your blessing will train the atmosphere to stay aligned with heaven. I am bringing you from battle to belonging, my child. Not just so you can breathe, but so you can build. Not just so you can rest, but so you can love without fear. Not just so you can feel safe, but so your home becomes a shelter for others, a place where people walk in heavy and walk out lighter because my presence is there. And the first evidence that you are crossing over will be this. You will stop expecting disaster as your normal, and you will begin expecting peace as your portion. So stay with me at this crossing point. Do not turn back in your mind. Do not romanticize the old chaos just because it is familiar. Do not call slavery stability just because you knew its patterns. I am leading you into a new normal. I am leading you into a home that feels like mine-covered, calm, protected, warm, alive with love. And as you keep step with peace, you will see the shift deepen. You will see it settle. You will see it spread from room to room, from conversation to conversation, from night to morning, until the thing you used to beg me for becomes the thing you live in without begging. And I tell you one more time, as a promise you can hold when the days try to argue, the hour of constant strain is closing, the hour of belonging is opening, and I, the Lord your God, am with you in it. Now come closer, my beloved, because I am not ending this moment with a feeling. I am sealing it with authority. I am not letting you walk away with a temporary comfort that fades the moment you hear a noise in the night, or the moment a bill arrives, or the moment an old memory tries to rise in your chest. I am giving you a benediction that becomes a boundary, a covering that becomes a culture, a peace that becomes a practice, because I, the Lord your God, do not visit to tease you, and I do not protect you halfway. What I begin, I establish. What I breathe into your rooms, I intend to remain. What I declare over your household, I intend to enforce. So listen to me, my child, and do not rush. Do not treat these next words like an ending. This is a sealing. This is a closing of gates to fear. This is the laying of my hand on your threshold. This is heaven leaning low one more time, not to stir you up, but to settle you down into what is now yours. And I want you to do something simple, something tangible, because faith is not only a thought, it is an agreement you can touch. Place a hand on your heart right now, my beloved. If you can, place a hand on your doorframe, on the place where you step in and step out, on the place where you used to carry worry in like groceries, on the place where you used to come home tired and drop your hope at the entrance. Put your hand there, or put your hand on your chest if you are not at home. Because your heart has been a doorway too, and as you do, breathe, and let your shoulders drop, because I am not asking you to strive, I am asking you to receive. And say this with me, not as a ritual, but as a relationship, not as superstition, but as surrender, not as performance, but as agreement. Lord, seal this house in your protection. Let your peace be our atmosphere, and your wisdom our way. Seal this home in the name of Jesus. Seal this family in the name of Jesus. Seal our nights, seal our mornings, seal our conversations, seal our decisions, seal our relationships, seal our sleep, seal our resources, seal our minds, seal our children, seal our future. Let the sound inside these walls be different. Let the air inside these rooms be clean. Let the spirit of fear find no permission, no welcome, no agreement here. Yes, my child, say it plainly, because fear has lived too long by suggestion. Fear has lingered too long by assumption. Fear has tried to occupy what it did not build, and it has tried to claim what it did not purchase. But I tell you now, fear is not your landlord. Fear is not your covering. Fear is not your prophecy, and from this moment, it will not be your normal. I am placing my peace over your doorposts, like a sign that darkness recognizes. I am placing my presence over your home, like a roof that does not leak. I am placing my wisdom in your pathways, like light that does not flicker. I am placing my angels in assignment around what you cannot monitor, around what you cannot predict, around what you cannot control, and I am giving you the gift of not needing to control it, because you have been exhausted trying to be your own watchman. You have been tired trying to be your own shield. You have been worn down trying to anticipate every problem before it appears. And I say to you, my beloved, you can rest, you can breathe, you can sleep, you can exhale. The night watch belongs to me. Now hear me closely, because sealing is not only about what I block, it is also about what you vow. Some of you have been waiting for peace to arrive before you commit to a new way of living, but I am telling you that the commitment is part of the peace. The vow is not a burden, it is a doorway. And I am inviting you to a household vow, not one that makes you perfect, but one that makes you aligned, one that keeps your home facing me even when life gets loud. So speak it, my child, even if your voice is quiet. Speak it, even if you are the only one in your home who is fully aware of how much you need me. Speak it, not as pressure, but as position. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. We will serve you in our speech. We will serve you in our love. We will serve you in our trust. We will serve you in our choices. We will serve you in our tone. We will serve you in our forgiveness. We will serve you when it is easy and when it is hard, when we have plenty and when we are waiting, when we feel strong and when we feel fragile. We will not let this home be a place where fear is fed. We will not let this home be a place where cruelty is excused. We will not let this home be a place where silence hides wounds. This home will be a place where truth can be spoken with gentleness, where correction comes with honor, where children are safe, where spouses are respected, where hearts are not mocked, where tears are not weaponized, where apologies are not rare, where love is practiced on purpose. Yes, my beloved, let that vow settle into the beams and the floors, into the hallway and the kitchen, into the living room and the bedroom, into the calendar and the conversations. Because you are not just living in a structure, you are building an atmosphere. You are not just passing time, you are shaping a legacy. You are not just surviving a season, you are establishing a standard. And I am not asking you to do it alone. I am offering to do it with you, to empower you, to teach you, to remind you, to correct you when you drift, to comfort you when you tremble, to strengthen you when you feel weak. This is what it means to serve me as a household. It means you let my presence lead the tone, and you let my peace be the rule. Now, my child, I am going to do something holy and tender. I am going to bless you as you stand at the end of this word, because the end is also a beginning. I am going to speak a covering over you that reaches beyond your feelings and reaches into your days. And as I bless you, I want you to stop arguing in your mind. Stop negotiating with fear. Stop rehearsing what if. Stop bracing. Let your spirit receive like soil receives rain. I bless your front door, my beloved. I bless what comes in and what goes out. I bless your comings and your goings. I bless the moments you leave for work, and I bless the moments you return home. I bless your safety on the road. I bless your awareness without anxiety. I bless your discernment without paranoia. I bless your ability to sense what is off without spiraling into fear. I bless the very threshold that used to carry heaviness, and I declare, this is a place of peace. This is a place of refuge. This is a place of belonging. I bless your living room, my child, the place of gathering, the place of conversation, the place of laughter, the place of tension when you did not know how to talk without it turning into something sharp. I bless your conversations with gentleness. I bless your home with reconciliation. I bless your home with the courage to speak truth with love. I bless your home with ears that listen and hearts that soften. I bless the spaces where you have felt misunderstood, and I declare, you will be understood, you will be met, you will be loved, not perfectly by everyone, but truly by me, and increasingly by those I am healing alongside you. I bless your kitchen, my beloved, the place of provision, the place of daily bread, the place where you have counted portions and counted pennies and tried to stretch what felt too small. I bless your hands with wisdom. I bless your planning with peace. I bless your resources with multiplication. I bless your decisions with clarity. I bless your finances with integrity and favor. I bless the work of your hands. I bless every honest effort. I bless every seed you have sown in faith. And I declare that scarcity will not be your teacher forever. I am teaching you a new language: enough, strategy, stewardship, overflow that is not for pride, but for stability, generosity, and rest. I bless your bedrooms, my child. I bless your sleep. I bless the place where you have tossed and turned, the place where you have stared at the ceiling, the place where you have been haunted by thoughts you did not invite. I bless your mind with quiet. I bless your nervous system with calm. I bless your nights with protection. I bless your dreams with purity. I bless your body with rest that restores, not just rest that pauses. I bless you with mornings that do not begin in dread. I bless you with the ability to lay down without scanning for threat, because I am your watchman and I do not sleep. I bless your children if you have them, my beloved. I bless their hearts with safety. I bless their minds with peace. I bless their schools, their friendships, their growth, their emotional world. I bless the parts of them you worry about, the things you cannot fix, the questions you cannot answer. I bless the tears you cried on their behalf when you felt helpless. And I declare, I am able. I am near. I am working, even when you cannot see it. I will not waste your prayers. I will not ignore your mothering, your fathering, your loving. I will give you wisdom for each season. I will show you how to correct without crushing, how to guide without controlling, how to protect without projecting fear. I am teaching your home how to feel safe again. I bless your marriage if you are married, my child. I bless the places where love got tired. I bless the places where communication broke down. I bless the places where stress turned you into strangers. I bless the places where you have wanted to give up but kept showing up. I bless the places where you have been hurt, and I speak a restoring wind into your home, not the wind of drama, but the wind of humility, the wind of apology, the wind of tenderness returning. I bless your covenant with honor. I bless your union with renewed friendship. I bless your home with the ability to fight for each other and not against each other. And if you are alone in your home, if you are single, if you are separated, if you are rebuilding after loss, I bless you too, my beloved. I bless your solitude with companionship from my presence. I bless your healing with dignity. I bless your future with hope. I bless your home with warmth, not emptiness. You are not overlooked because you are alone. You are not less covered because you are rebuilding. I am the God who meets you in the quiet, and I fill what feels missing with myself. I bless the corners of your home, my child, the places no one thinks about, the closets, the storage, the back room, the basement of your heart where old memories were boxed up because you did not know what to do with them. I bless the hidden places, and I say, nothing hidden will rule you. Nothing buried will poison your atmosphere. I am bringing what is needed into the light, and I am healing it without shaming you. I am cleansing without accusing. I am restoring without humiliating. This is my way. This is my love. Now, my beloved, I seal it. I seal it. I seal it. Not with your strength, but with my promise. Not with your perfection, but with my presence. Not with your ability to keep everything calm, but with my authority over storms. And I declare over your household, peace is your portion. Protection is your covering. Wisdom is your pathway. Restoration is your story. Provision is your testimony. And the spirit of fear has no permission in your house. And now, because this is not only about you, I am sending you. Do not be afraid of that word, my child. Sending does not mean you have to preach on a street corner. Sending does not mean you have to carry pressure. Sending means you will not hoard the peace I gave you as if it is fragile. Sending means you will become the kind of person who walks into a room and the room exhales. Sending means you will carry a calm that makes others feel safe. Sending means you will release peace first wherever you go. So hear me. Carry this covering. Carry it into your workplace. Carry it into your conversations. Carry it into the grocery store. Carry it into the carpool line. Carry it into the phone call you have been dreading. Carry it into the relationship that has been tense. Carry it into the appointment. Carry it into the meeting. Carry it into the hospital hallway. Carry it into the courtroom. Carry it into the classroom. Carry it into the family gathering. Carry it into the moment someone starts spiraling and does not know how to come back down. And when you arrive, do not release anxiety first. Do not release suspicion first. do not release control first. Release peace first. Walk into places and quietly say, "Peace be here." Walk into conversations and quietly say, "Lord, let your wisdom lead my mouth." Walk into moments of conflict and refuse to be recruited by chaos. Walk into someone else's fear and do not let it infect you. You are not a sponge for panic. You are a carrier of my presence. You are not called to absorb every emotion. You are called to bring an atmosphere. You are not called to match the storm. You are called to calm it. Because I am teaching you that the peace I give is not passive. It is a force. It is authority, clothed in love. And some of you, my beloved, will begin to notice that people will tell you things they have not told anyone else. They will not even know why they feel safe with you. They will not even know why they can finally cry. They will not even know why their shoulders drop when you speak. And it will not be because you have all the answers. It will be because you carry me. It will be because your home has been trained in peace, and now your life releases that same peace beyond your walls. This is what happens when I turn a house into a refuge. The refuge becomes a river. I am commissioning you to bless other homes, my child. When you visit someone, bless their doorway in your spirit. When you leave their house, leave peace behind. When you hear someone's burden, do not only sympathize, intercede. When you see a friend drowning in stress, do not only advise, cover them in prayer. When you encounter someone who is anxious about their children, their finances, their marriage, their safety, do not join their panic. Bring my presence, even if it is one sentence, even if it is whispered, even if it is simply, "Lord, cover this home." I will honor that. I will multiply that. I will use you as a gentle messenger of protection. And now I am going to speak to the part of you that still feels unworthy to carry peace because you are still healing. My beloved, you do not have to be finished to be faithful. You do not have to be flawless to be fruitful. You do not have to have a perfect home to have a covered home. You do not have to have a perfect past to have a protected future. I chose you in process. I sealed you in progress. I am not waiting for you to become someone else before I can use you. I am using you as you are, and I am changing you as I use you, because that is my way. I call, I cover, I commission, and I complete. So do not disqualify yourself with old labels. Do not say, "I am too anxious." Do not say, "I am too broken." Do not say, "I have failed too many times." Do not say, "My home is too messy." My child, I am not afraid of your mess. I am the God who brings order. I am not intimidated by your history. I am the God who redeems. I am not stopped by your weakness. I am the God who strengthens. And the very places where you had to fight for peace will become the places where you can teach peace. Because you will speak as one who has been rescued, not as one who is performing. Now, my beloved, before you go, I am asking you for a gentle agreement because agreement matters. When my children agree, atmospheres shift. When my children agree, the enemy loses ground. When my children agree, covering multiplies. So if you received this seal, if you felt my presence settle in your chest, if you can sense even a small quiet where there used to be noise, then let your response be simple and full of faith. Press like as your amen, not because I need numbers, but because you are making a mark in the natural that mirrors a decision in the spirit. Subscribe so you can continue to receive these house blessings, these coverings, these moments where heaven leans low over your address, because I will keep shepherding you room by room, day by day, season by season. And share this with someone, my beloved, not to broadcast yourself, but to place a covering over another home tonight, to send peace into a house where someone is pacing the hallway, into a room where someone is crying quietly, into a kitchen where someone is counting what is left and wondering how they will make it, into a bedroom where someone is afraid to turn the lights off. Do not underestimate what I can do with one share, one act of obedience, one simple sending of peace. And I want you to write it because words spoken and words written carry agreement. Type Amen and then type this. Fear has no permission in my house. Do not type it like a slogan. Type it like a line in the sand. Type it like a door being shut. Type it like a key turning in a lock. Type it like a new normal being established. And as you type, I want you to know that I see you, and I am with you, and I am strengthening you. And if you need prayer for your household, leave it there too, my beloved. Do not be ashamed of your request. Do not minimize your need. Do not say, "It's not that serious," when it has been heavy on your chest for months. Put it in the light. Put the need into words. Write the prayer request for your marriage, for your children, for your finances, for your mind, for your safety, for your healing, for your home, because I am building community around covering. I am teaching my people to stand with each other. I am reminding you that you are not alone, and you were never meant to fight alone, and you do not have to carry your household silently. As you write, others will agree. As you share, others will intercede. And I, the Lord your God, will meet you there. Now receive this final blessing, my child, not as an ending, but as a seal that stays with you when you close your eyes and when you open them, when you step inside and when you step outside, when you are in the quiet and when you are in the noise. I bless you with peace that surpasses understanding. I bless you with wisdom that arrives before panic. I bless you with protection that does not depend on your vigilance. I bless you with discernment that does not turn into fear. I bless you with provision that steadies your heart. I bless you with relationships that heal. I bless you with laughter returning. I bless you with rest that feels safe. I bless you with a home that feels like refuge and not like a battlefield. And I declare, as your father and your defender, this house is sealed, this family is covered, this threshold is guarded, this atmosphere belongs to me. Fear has no permission here. Chaos has no authority here. Darkness has no claim here. And peace, my peace, will stand watch in your hallways, will sit with you at your table, will lie beside you at night, will rise with you in the morning, will follow you as you go, and will return with you as you come home. Go now, my beloved, and carry what I have given you. Carry it softly, carry it boldly, carry it faithfully. Release peace first, speak blessing first, choose wisdom first. And when the old season tries to knock on your door, do not negotiate. Do not entertain it. Do not invite it in for conversation. Stand in your doorway and say, "This home serves the Lord. This home belongs to peace. Fear has no permission in my house." And then close the door with confidence, because I am on the other side of it, and I am within it, and I am over it. And I will not leave you. I will not drift away. I will not abandon what I have sealed. I am with you in your home, and I am with you as you become a covering to others. And as you sleep tonight, let your last thought be this: you are not bracing anymore. You are belonging. You are not fighting alone anymore. You are covered. You are not waiting for disaster anymore. You are expecting peace as your portion, and it will be so.